Seeing that everyone was ready to attack, Chen Xiang laughed. I remember that my 10 billion bounty has already been withdrawn. Even if you guys catch me, the Dongfang family will not give you any rewards. Seeing that everyone was ready to attack, Chen Xiang laughed. I remember that my 10 billion bounty has already been withdrawn. Even if you guys catch me, the Dongfang family will not give you any rewards. Who didn't know that not only had his 10 billion bounty been withdrawn, it had also received Dongfang Chaochuan's gratitude? However, what the crowd wanted to capture wasn't him, but the loyal Kailan Thunder Eagle beside him, which was even more precious than the 10 billion spar. But no one made a move. Chen Xiang had a backer. Dongfang Lingyun brought a group of experts to besiege Super Martial School, and in the end, all of them returned with blood, because of Huang Jintian's attack. Big Brother Chen Xiang knew right away that it was Dongfang Jing's little idiot calling him. After Dongfang Jing shouted, seeing that many people were looking at her, she regretted it. Her face was flushed red, and she quickly hid behind Dongfang Chaochuan. Jing, what a coincidence, you're here too. Chen Xiang brought Tingying and walked over. Tingying was now even more respectful to Chen Xiang. He was still a little perturbed when he arrived, but other than the group of experts staring at him with greedy eyes, he didn't move an inch. Tingying also returned a furious glare at them. Seeing that Chen Xiang and Dongfang Jing's relations, Hi+P was so close, the young boys and girls who came with him were extremely jealous. Little brother Shen, you've helped us time and time again. I really don't know how to thank you for that. Dongfang Chaochuan saw Chen Xiang walking over, and anxiously said with a face full of gratitude. Chen Xiang felt that obtaining Dongfang Xinyue, this beautiful female slave, was the biggest reward to the Dongfang family, so he immediately laughed. It's nothing, no need to be polite. It's fault for making us Super Martial School to do something, but someone like that, my Super Martial School cannot let him live happily. Chen Xiang's words were also directed towards some of the people present. Even though his Super Martial School didn't have a large territory, his strength wasn't weak. Chen Xiang reached out to pinch Dongfang Jing's innocent and beautiful face and laughed. Little idiot, you're really bold, to actually dare come to this kind of place. I came with my father. Dongfang Jing lowered his head and said softly. Little brother Shen, you don't have to worry about this. We just want these juniors to come out and gain more experience. Dongfang Chaochuan said. Chen Xiang shook his head. Training is not like this. This kind of place is not as simple as you think. Chen Xiang, you dared to come in here alone, so this place isn't too bad after all. Here, it was also because he had a pretty good relations, Hi+P with Chen Xiang, and also knew many of Chen Xiang's secrets. I came to look for my friend, but my friend said that he was attacked by a group of BASTARDS for no reason. Fortunately, he had some ability, and was able to escape from the hands of these pigs. Chen Xiang grinned, and spoke very easily, but that made the experts who made a move earlier flush with anger, as if they wanted to slap Chen Xiang ruthlessly in his face, as though they were being scolded. Enough, my friend is bringing me on a treasure hunt. Chen Xiang waved his hand, then followed Tingying and left. If they started to investigate, they would have to apologize. But Chen Xiang was only pointing at Sang Huai. He had only said a few words. This little guy's courage is indeed as great as it's rumored to be. I think that even without Huang Jintian supporting him, he would still be like this. Could it be that he wasn't afraid of us attacking him just now? Yao Shumi said casually. The middle-aged woman had looked over Chen Xiang carefully and was the most surprised because she could not see any signs of cultivation in Chen Xiang's body. Madam Peach Blossom, if you had attacked just now, I don't know about the consequences. In short, Huang Jintian probably wouldn't have come looking for you, but you should know that Huang Jintian doesn't dare to leave the profound realm casually. Chen Xiang is not relying on Huang Jintian, but even if the big heads of Super Martial School join forces, they will still not be able to defeat you, and even if the entire Chern Martial continent join forces, they will not count much in your eyes. Back then, beside the demon and devil sinkhole, he had personally witnessed Chen Xiang killing each and every expert one of them, fearlessly. I don't believe that if not for Huang Jintian, no matter how strong he is, he would just be a little kid. An old man said in disdain. Oh? If he used 10 relive Dan to reward you, what would happen to you? From what I know, his pill refining skills were not imparted to him by the Super Martial School's mysterious Elder Dan, and he was not Hua Xiang either. Before he entered the Super Martial School, he already had a solid foundation in pill refining. Lien Yingxiao laughed. What everyone doesn't know is that Fire Divine Palace's Han Lai still owes him a favor. Han Lai did indeed owe Chen Xiang a favor. If it wasn't for Chen Xiang helping him today, he probably would still be trapped inside the magical corruption gas. Although Han Lai didn't say it, judging from Han Lai's temperament, he would definitely remember this favor. There had been a few experts present who had experienced the incident at Demon and Devil Sinkhole, and they believed without a doubt in this matter. After Chen Xiang left, he naturally did not know that others were talking about him. He was currently following Ting Ying, and had stayed in the ancient spirit Great Land for a very long time. Elder Brother Shin, Super Martial School is so powerful. Those people just now seem to be scared. Ting Ying said with admiration. Of course. Chen Xiang laughed. This group of people are simply bullying the weak and afraid of the strong. If you were very strong, they would definitely hide far away, but if you were very weak, hee. I understand. It's the same here, the strong preys on the weak. Ting Ying nodded. Elder Brother Shin, can I join you? I feel that, if I were to interact with humans, I would be able to improve even faster. He originally only wanted to be friends with Ting Ying, but did not expect Ting Ying to actually want to join his Super Martial School. Of course you can. His Super Martial School will definitely be happy to accept you. You can be considered the first beast-like disciple of his Super Martial School. Ting Ying lived in a cave, and when Chen Xiang followed him to the depths of the cave, he could feel a very rich power of the 5 elements. 5-colored spirit bamboo. The moment Su Meiyao sensed this aura, he immediately recognized it. This is the second kind of main ingredient for refining 5 elements profound Dan. The 5-colored bamboo grew very tall, and each section had 5 different colors. It emitted a weak glow and the power of the 5 elements. 5 elements profound Dan only needed 2 main medicinal herbs. Chen Xiang already had the 5 dragon crystal fruit, which meant that he would have a large amount of 5 elements profound Dan ingredient. Ting Ying said, It took me a long time to grow this bamboo, but as my strength increases, it becomes more and more useless to me. If Elder Brother Shin needs it, then I'll go. I'm going to leave this place anyway and walk around the human world. Ting Ying said, It took me a long time to grow this bamboo, but as my strength increases, it becomes more and more useless to me. If Elder Brother Shin needs it, then I'll go. I'm going to leave this place anyway and walk around the human world. Of course, Chen Xiang would not want Ting Ying's things for nothing. He gave Ting Ying some high-level spirit fruits and profound beast pills, and their value Serpa said this 5-colored spirit bamboo, which was also why Chen Xiang wanted Ting Ying to stay in Super Martial School more peacefully. After placing the 5-colored spirit bamboo into the ring, Chen Xiang asked, Ting Ying, have you been to the depths of ancient spirit Great Land? No, the depths are very dangerous. If I go in, I will definitely die. Although I don't know what's inside, my intuition tells me that with my current strength, I will only be courting death. Ting Ying could clearly feel the danger in the depths of his heart. Chen Xiang followed Ting Ying to the top of a tall mountain. Looking down, they could only see mountains shrouded in clouds, unable to see what was down below. Now that we're at a place, we'll be at the edge of danger. There's a boundary here. As long as we enter, it would be equivalent to stepping into someone else's territory. Ting-ing looked into the distance with a serious expression. Although Ting-ing was an archaic strange beast, it just landed in the room, growing slowly and with a limited amount of strength, just like Long Shui. If Long Shui did not meet him, his path of growth would have been bumpy, and might even fall into the hands of others. Just as Chen Xiang and Ting-ing were chatting casually, a slight tremble came over. However, Chen Xiang could tell that it came from the depths of the danger. Those guys are idiots, they actually ran in. Ting-ing gritted his teeth and said, Elder Brother Chen, let's leave this place quickly. If we anger the bunch of powerful fellows inside, we will be in danger. What are those powerful fellows? Chen Xiang asked. He was a little worried about Dongfang Jing. I don't know. They look like humans, but they aren't because they don't have the aura of humans. Ting-ing was at a loss. Chen Xiang used a Luotian gate to open a spatial door, then said to Ting-ing, Once you enter, you will be at Super Martial School. When that time comes, go and find Gu Dongchen or Wu Kaming, just say that I recommended it. Ting-ing memorized it and nodded, then asked, Elder Brother Shin, you want to go inside, right? I'm only going in to take a look, there's no need to worry about me. Chen Xiang laughed. Be careful. Ting-ing patted Chen Xiang's shoulder, his young and handsome face revealing a rare smile. Ting-ing stepped into the spatial gate and immediately transformed into a black hawk, flying quickly towards the direction of the origin of the vibration. After flying for a short while, Chen Xiang sensed an extremely strange energy, as if he had just penetrated an invisible energy barrier. There is indeed something strange. That invisible barrier was formed naturally, but it has been used. As long as we pass through it, we will be detected. Moreover, there will also be remnants of energy on our body. We will be accurately targeted. Long Shui said, You have transformed into a black hawk through mana, so when you enter, you will not be discovered, and your body will not be touched by the energy. So someone was inside? Only humans knew how to use such complicated things. I'm not sure yet. In short, he's a very intelligent guy, and he's also very strong. Look down below. Long Shui said. Chen Xiang could clearly see a faint energy aura below the towering ancient trees. This aura was left behind after the Great Battle, and it had even been left behind many years ago. Can the Heaven Tour method be used? Chen Xiang asked. No. Long Shui sighed. Very quickly, Chen Xiang arrived at a place with traces of a fierce battle. From the chi he had left behind, he could tell that they were all Nirvana realm experts. Looks like I can only use the old method. Become a bird and fly in the lower part of the forest. Long Shui said, I'll try using my nose to see if I can find that little idiot. Ancient trees were everywhere on ancient spirit great land. These trees had absorbed the spiritual chi of heaven and earth for many years, and had grown extremely thick and dysprosium. Some had even evolved, and if one was patient, one could find many profound fruit here. I found it. It's easy to distinguish the smell of this little idiot Chen Xiang. When she's together with her father, there's also that peach blossom lady. Long Shui said. When Chen Xiang and Ting-ing met the group of rankers, he had only glanced at Yao Shumi. He did look rather pleasing to the eyes, but he felt that Dongfang Jing, this little idiot, was more likable. According to the direction that Long Shui was pointing in, Chen Xiang could see many traces on the way here. For example, there were some large trees with claws, some footprints on the ground, and some large trees that had collapsed. These footprints were not wearing shoes. They were human footprints, but they were a bit bigger. Moreover, these guys' claws are very sharp, they can release that kind of powerful energy when grabbed. Long Shui looked at the marks and analyzed. It seems like there are many of these things, and they are all in group. Some of the footprints are very big, but the scars are very shallow, and should be the strongest. Now, what he was sure of was that there was something very similar to a human in this ancient spirit great land, and it was a little bigger than a normal person. We need to get close to that group of things. There are quite a few of them, dozens of them. Long Shui anxiously said. Although he had turned into a bird, if the noise he made was too loud, he would still be discovered. It didn't take long before he saw the things that they had guessed many times. They were indeed people. Other than that, the biggest difference compared to ordinary people was that they had 4 hands, the other 2 were grown from the back, and their arms were even longer and thicker. These extra hands had 10 very sharp fingernails, and from a distance, they looked like cold H.I.+ning daggers. These people were all bald, with a black dot sticking out from the back of their head. Chen Xiang saw from their eyes that this kind of person was like a wild beast. Their eyes were filled with brutality and ruthlessness. And among them, there were 3 who were even larger than them, walking in front, releasing low growls one after another. Exiled vile race. Long Shui pondered for a long time before taking a deep breath and said, "What? The evil realm? The reproduction speed and growth speed of this race are very fast, but they don't have much intelligence. Only a few of them have the same intelligence as humans, so they are easily enslaved by their king." Su Meiyao also knew about this race. That's basically the case. Because of this, during the ancient times, it was hard to get along with humans, and humans had to spend a lot of time to change them. But after they were attacked, this race once started a large-scale war, attacking humans and feeding on them because they were all born with strong power. They did not need to cultivate to become stronger, so there was a great threat. When we were in the primordial era, they all called these guys evil barbarian. Their most powerful move was the pair of hands that they had grown up with on their back. Long Shui said. When we were in the primordial era, they all called these guys evil barbarian. Their most powerful move was the pair of hands that they had grown up with on their back. Long Shui said. As Chen Xiang followed behind this group of evil barbarian, he could sense a pair of long and thick arms condensing behind their back. As expected, Dongfang Chaochuan and Yao Shumi were being chased closely by this group of evil barbarians, because they had to protect quite a few of their juniors, so they could only run away. "Look at the fingernails on their hands," Long Shui shouted. Chen Xiang immediately focused his sight on the fingernails on evil barbarians' hands. These nails were like short swords, emitting a kind of white glow, waving the big hands that grew from the back. Those sharp sword nails instantly fell off the fingers like rain, flying towards Dongfang Chaochuan and the others. Dongfang Chaochuan and Yao Shumi seemed to have experienced this kind of attack before, as they immediately released the innate qi, forming 2 thick walls of the innate qi, blocking behind them. It was also at that time that fingernails that were like swords smashed into the first layer of the innate qi's walls, causing the second layer to be filled with crack. So powerful! Their nails grew out again. No wonder they wanted to escape. If they didn't run faster, those young people would have been killed by those nails. Chen Xiang exclaimed. Dongfang Chaochuan also started to fight back. He threw a punch towards the group of evil barbarian people chasing behind him. The power of the punch turned into countless of fists, causing a large layer of the ground to form, and all the trees were smashed apart by the powerful fist force. In that moment, a large area was flattened. What surprised him was that those evil barbarian were fine, they had just been pushed back. However, when they stood up, they immediately started to chase after them. Their running speed was fast to the point that Chen Xiang could only click his tongue. He did not expect these huge and bulky fellows to be so agile, able to easily jump on the branches of those huge trees after entering the forest. Chen Xiang was unable to see the true strength of these dozens of evil barbarian. If it was 100 refining realm warrior that was H.I. T by Dongfang Chaochuan's fist just now, even if they were not dead they would at least be severely injured. However, these evil barbarian were only blown back by the strong force of the punch. "Is there any good way to deal with them?" Chen Xiang asked. Evil barbarian's physical body is very strong, this is natural, Especially when facing off head-on, their endurance is very strong. As for their weakness, it is to attack the pair of arms growing out from their back, and the most effective method is to cut off that pair of arms. Long Shui said. Chen Xiang watched from the sky and realized that the larger three evil barbarians were the leaders, and that they had never attacked before. These guys have split up. Chen Xiang suddenly saw that two of the leaders had brought around 10 or so evil barbarians with them, so he increased his speed and chased after them from two sides. The leaders were already the same as the humans, because right in front of Dongfang Chaochuan and the others, a group of evil barbarians suddenly appeared. At this moment, they were all gathered in different directions, and Chen Xiang counted down. No matter how far away they are, those leaders will be able to exchange information, communicate, discuss, and communicate with each other. In the process of pursuing just now, maybe they already had a meeting, so the 10 leaders are most likely having a mutual understanding with each other, so they have a very good teamwork. Long Shui said she also admired these leaders. For these leaders to bring a group of reckless evil barbarian to attack the human world, that is an extremely terrifying thing to do. Su Meiyao said. Very quickly, Dongfang Chaochuan and the rest were surrounded. They only had 2 stronger people on their side, but the evil barbarian had 10 leaders. The other evil barbarian's strengths were also unfathomable. At least they were not something the young men could handle. Haha, foolish humans, we always wanted to go out and destroy you. We never thought that you would come here by yourselves. Don't worry, we won't kill you. You will become our slaves. Chen Xiang could see now that the largest body of the evil barbarian was the stronger it was. Chen Xiang stood on top of a tree and took out the death-haunting arrow that he had recently refined. He locked onto the arms of several tens of evil barbarians. The skins of these fellows are very thick. Let's use the dragon power. Long Shui said. Chen Xiang immediately activated the innate qi in his body, and turned it into a dragon power and a devil-suppressing holy power. Who are you people? We did not provoke you. Yao Shumi raised her eyebrows and asked coldly. As long as you are human, we have sufficient reasons to annihilate you. We are irreconcilable with you. The leader said ferociously. As long as Chen Xiang was able to see the back of the evil barbarian, most of them would be locked on by Chen Xiang. In order for the arrow he shot to be effective, Chen Xiang had added a little magical corruption gas, so that it could break through the defense. This arrow was aimed at dozens of targets, and was not ineffective at all. Chen Xiang had used the innate qi of the 3rd floor. For him who had 1.28 million Zhenyuan granule, the 3rd floor was extremely terrifying. Go! As Chen Xiang shouted in his heart, the death-haunting arrow that was silently coalescing its crossbow slightly trembled, and a transparent arrow flew out. It then split into tens of smaller arrows, and accurately shot into the arms on the backs of 53 evil barbarians. After the arms behind the evil barbarian were blasted into a bloody mist, a blaze erupted. The flame and the magical corruption gas mixed together and drilled into the bodies of the evil barbarians through their wounds, burning and rotting their internal organs. In an instant, more than 50 evil barbarians fell. Being ambushed made the leader furious. Who is it? Chen Xiang laughed loudly. It's your grandpa. Chase! The leader roared. He did not care about Dongfang Chaochuan and the rest, and immediately ran towards the direction of Chen Xiang's voice. Dongfang Chaochuan and Yao Shumi looked at each other, then attacked together, aiming at the arms on the backs of the leaders, then used their strongest power to unleash their fastest attack. In merely an instant, that strong aura turned into a violent storm, and countless palm images and fist images followed the storm and smashed onto the backs of the evil barbarians. Because just now they saw that Chen Xiang's attack was extremely fatal to the evil barbarian, especially after the arm behind him was destroyed. It was basically considered as crippled. And when they attacked the evil barbarian directly earlier, it was unable to harm them. Dongfang Chaochuan took out a long sword and leaped out, moving through the innate qi storm and instantly arriving behind the leaders. She waved the sword and cut off the arms on their backs, and Yao Shumi, unwilling to be outdone, waved the two slender pink long whips, ruthlessly and quickly whipping the thick arms on evil barbarians' back. Every time a whip lashed out with her extremely strong innate qi, an explosion would occur. Dongfang Chaochuan took out a long sword and leaped out, moving through the innate qi storm and instantly arriving behind the leaders. She waved the sword and cut off the arms on their backs, and Yao Shumi, unwilling to be outdone, waved the two slender pink long whips, ruthlessly and quickly whipping the thick arms on evil barbarians' back. Every time a whip lashed out with her extremely strong innate qi, an explosion would occur. In the short span of a few moments after Chen Xiang's sneak attack, the leaders were struck back fiercely by Dongfang Chaochuan and her, and a large number of them died. Just as Long Shui said, those two arms were the lifeline of the evil barbarian. Once it was destroyed, its power would be greatly reduced, and it would not be able to retaliate. The large leader who was laughing sinisterly just now had a face full of anger as he looked at the arms that were chopped off by Dongfang Chaochuan on the ground. These leaders did not expect that the person who they had been chasing down the entire time would actually retaliate with such ferocity, and at a strength that was not weak either. Yao Shumi and Dongfang Chaochuan were mainly here to protect the young people, to not let go and fight them, so as long as they saved their strength, they could protect the young people as they escaped, and leave this dangerous place. The leader roared and jumped into the forest. But at this moment a green light flashed, leaving a green arc in the air. The leader's body was also split in half like a crescent moon. Chen Xiang slowly floated down, a large domineering green blade in his hand. Without those arms you actually became so weak. Chen Xiang put the green dragon demon-slaying broadsword on his shoulder and walked towards Dongfang Jing while grinning. You little idiot, you must be scared. Dongfang Jing's jade face was filled with fear. Seeing that Chen Xiang had arrived, she smiled sweetly at him and nodded. Yao Shumi and Dongfang Chaochuan were just about to speak out to thank Chen Xiang, but Chen Xiang suddenly shouted in front of them. You guys truly aren't listening to their advice, coming in and causing trouble. There are a lot of people here, and this is just outside. Everything you guys have met are just for fun. If you were surrounded by a large group of people, I won't be able to save you. Yao Shumi was actually the one who extended a helping hand. If it wasn't for Chen Xiang's help, they would definitely have fallen into a bitter battle. Young Master Shin, you're right. Thank you, young Master Shin, for saving me. Yao Shumi arrived in front of Chen Xiang and gave a bland smile. He bowed to Chen Xiang, causing the disciples of the Peach Blossom Fairyland to be dumbstruck. Chen Xiang put away the green dragon demon-slaying broadsword that was dripping with blood and laughed. Madam Peach Blossom didn't invite my super martial school as a guest earlier, she's probably afraid that I would cause trouble. This caused Yao Shumi's jade face to redden. She did not expect Chen Xiang to say such words in front of her, which made her feel slightly embarrassed. As said, Yao Shumi did not refute him, with a blushing face, he smiled and nodded. Please forgive me. In the future, whenever young Master Shen comes to the Peach Blossom Fairyland, we will welcome him at any time. Chen Xiang pointed in a direction. If you want to go in this direction, you can leave this place. When you came in, you already possessed a bit of energy, and will be easily detected by that group of people. They are primordial evil barbarians, sealed here, so after you leave the great natural formation that seals them, you all aren't afraid of being hunted down. What about the others? Dongfang Chaochuan asked. Let them be. I'm only here to save the little fool. But now I want to take a look in the depths. Chen Xiang pinched Dongfang Jing's face tightly, then fled into the forest and disappeared. Big brother Chen Xiang, be careful along the way. Hearing that Chen Xiang was about to go deeper in, Dongfang Jing was startled. She anxiously shouted, but she could no longer see Chen Xiang. Just as Chen Xiang left, Lien Yingxiao flew over with a smile. I didn't expect that the matter of the hero saving the beauty would be S.N. A.T.C. head away by Chen Xiang. Island Lord Lien, after we send these young people out, we must return. The situation here is not good, and if there are any serious casualties, we must take responsibility. After all, we were the experts who proposed to carry out these activities. Yao Shumi said with a serious face. Lien Yingxiao nodded his head. This is something that I must do. You guys should have stopped Chen Xiang just now and asked him about some things regarding this place. He and that Kylan Thunder Eagle are friends, you guys should know something. Chen Xiang did not know much about the evil barbarian. He only knew the weaknesses of the evil barbarian as. He was just curious how the evil barbarian empire operated in the depths of the ancient spirit Great Land. The ancient spirit Great Land was formed from multiple continents colliding together, so the spirit energy was extremely dense. However, Chen Xiang did not come across any spirit medicines along the way, but instead, he met places with spirit medicines. When he said bye, he could still feel the remnant aura. This footprint is the footprint of a shoe. It looks like a normal person, but it doesn't leave any breath. Moreover, there aren't many footprints. It must have come from a tree. After Chen Xiang saw the footprints, he started to ponder. Looking at the traces, it should have been some time. Could it be that someone came here to gather spirit medicine frequently? Chen Xiang had to be even more careful now. In this area, it was very easy for some spiritual herbs to grow. He walked around and found that there were dozens of humans that had been here before. However, it was hidden very well, and was not discovered by the evil barbarian. Or else, after it was discovered by the evil barbarian, this group of people would be able to kill the evil barbarian. Long Shui said. The deeper they went, the denser the spiritual qi became. Although there was a certain distance between them and the profound realm, it was much denser than the spiritual qi of many big sections. One must know that when big sects were built, they were only decided by selecting thousands and thousands of other big sections. It might be a demon beast in human form. Su Meiyao's words made Chen Xiang's heart tremble. The majority of the humanoid beasts were from the Nirvana stage, and they were very strong. Although the ancient spirit Great Land didn't have as many people as the others, the hidden dangers made many strong 1. Tioniers have no choice but to treat them with caution. Chen Xiang turned into a common green bird, flying in the dense forest. It could avoid being attacked by some demon beasts that had strong concealing abilities. After flying for half a day, Chen Xiang suddenly heard a threatening and ruthless voice. If you don't hand over the spirit herbs that you've harvested, I'll pinch this little girl to death. This voice was somewhat familiar to Chen Xiang. He could hear that it was one of the experts, and very quickly, he saw an infuriating scene. A middle-aged man wearing a blue robe was pinching the nape of a 5 to 6-year-old girl, lifting her up. Chen Xiang was furious. From the middle-aged man's service, he knew that the middle-aged man was from Thunder Heaven School. The middle-aged man menacingly threatened the 3 beast-skinned muscular men. Their faces were also filled with anger, and there were traces of blood at the corners of their mouths. They had 1 or 2 blody holes on their bodies, and their faces were ugly. The middle-aged man menacingly threatened the 3 beast-skinned muscular men. Their faces were also filled with anger, and there were traces of blood at the corners of their mouths. They had 1 or 2 blody holes on their bodies, and their faces were ugly. The swords in their hands had traces of blood on them, so it was likely that they were the ones who had pierced through the 3 burly men's bodies. Their faces were also briming with complacent smiles. The humans outside are indeed the same as the evil barbarian, it's just that they're even more despicable and vicious than the ones in the evil barbarian. A one-eyed man roared angrily, and took out some spiritual medicines that were emitting dense amounts of spiritual energy. They had just collected these. When Chen Xiang saw this, he was infuriated. Thunder Heaven School was, after all, a very famous sect in this new world. This guy, he should be the leader of the Thunder Heaven School. Lei Durong definitely cannot let him go. Chen Xiang took out the death-haunting arrow, condensed it into dragon power and released it. He wanted to control the magical corruption gas very precisely, as long as it was enough to make the inner body of the Thunder Heaven School become dirty and rotten. Shui, watch the timing. Use your mana to save that little girl. We can't let this guy succeed. Chen Xiang said, as the condensed crossbow arrow shot out angrily. After the arrow was shot out, Lei Durong immediately sensed that someone was sneaking an attack on him. The moment he relaxed, a strange power made the girl in his hand suddenly drop her hand and shout towards the one-eyed man. Who? Lei Durong roared angrily. Chen Xiang's arrow did not pierce through his body, but was blocked by a powerful armor. Even so, the magical corruption gas still spread out on Lei Durong's body, went through his clothes and armor, and drilled into his body through his skin. Lei Durong was indeed a leader of a sect, and very quickly, he found out that he was poisoned, and hurriedly swallowed a high-level detoxification pill. He sat down cross-legged and started meditating. He knew that the poison was extremely terrifying and was wreaking havoc in his body. The word die was a bit unfamiliar to the warriors who had just crossed the 8th tribulation of Nirvana realm. Usually, they would only feel this kind of fear when facing Nirvana Doom S, but now that he felt the strange poison aura in his body, he could not help but feel a deep sense of fear. Protector, don't let anyone near me. The guy that plotted against me is definitely not strong, or else he would have appeared a long time ago. Lei Durong growled, and had the 3 disciples beside him surround him. When the STURDY guys saw this, they knew that someone was trying to save them from the shadows. They were carrying the girl and wanted to leave, so Lei Durong groaned and released a strong force that pushed the few men down to the ground. The girl, who was protected by the one-eyed big guy, did not get hurt. Lei Durong had to pay a price for this. Just now, with his luck, the poison spread even faster, causing his internal organs to rot, and he quickly took out a bottle, but he was immediately smashed by Chen Xiang's arrow. Despicable! Lei Durong trembled, gritted his teeth, and spat out a few words. Chen Xiang took out the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and as expected, it flew from a distant tree. In a few breaths' time, it arrived in front of Lei Durong. I'm afraid I'm not as despicable as you, old turtle. Chen Xiang chuckled. It was actually Chen Xiang. Lei Durong felt a sweetness in his throat and almost vomited blood. He, a dignified leader of a sect, was actually ambushed by this brat, Chen Xiang, and he was poisoned. You and I have no enmity with each other, why did you try to harm me? Chen Xiang shouted in a low voice. Chen Xiang possessed a large number of Relivdan, so he naturally could possess powerful poisons as well. Lei Durong never dared to underestimate Alchemist, because the pills given by Alchemist could not only save people, but also kill people and formless, causing them to die miserably. Chen Xiang laughed coldly. These people also have no enmity with you, YRUSNATC, hing other people's spirit medicine? You even use a child to threaten me. You don't have the right to ask me that question, I just can't bear to see you do it. As long as you give me the antidote, I can apologize to them and compensate them. Lei Durong clenched his fists tightly. It was not easy for him to get through the 8 tribulations of Nirvana, and he was not willing to die like this. Chen Xiang laughed. I don't trust you. Just then, a disciple of the Thunder Heaven School suddenly flew out in the direction of the girl. Chen Xiang's reaction was not slow either. He flashed towards her and at the same time, chopped the Thunder Heaven School disciple into 2 halves. It was just a single slash, yet a disciple of the 100 refining realm was sliced off by Chen Xiang like tofu. The armor on his body was completely useless. Chen Xiang could guess that all of this was because of Lei Durong's divine sense. Humph! Chen Xiang's divine blade shook, releasing a clear dragon's roar, and the blood on it was also shaken into a bloody mist. The remaining 2 disciples started trembling. They knew that Lei Durong did not have the power to resist, if not they would have killed him already. They were afraid that Chen Xiang's strong poison would have noiselessly poisoned a powerful warrior like him. You! Before Lei Durong could finish his words, Chen Xiang flashed forward and shouted coldly, "Die!" The blood was black and carried a strong poison, causing the 2 disciples to feel weak from head to toe. Their powerful leader died in front of them just like that, killed by a little ghost. But they were not afraid for long, and fell into a deep slumber forever. After Chen Xiang killed Lei Durong, they also killed the 2 disciples. Chen Xiang released a wisp of flame which carried the devil-suppressing holy power. It was able to burn the poison within a short period of time and cleanse the place completely. "Are all of you okay?" Chen Xiang walked over and supported the one-eyed burly man up, then smiled at the cute girl who was crying like the rain. "Thank you for saving us. Looks like the humans outside are all like those guys." The man looked at Chen Xiang with awe. They knew of Lei Durong's strength. They were like ants in Lei Durong's eyes, but they were still slaughtered by him. No need to be polite, these guys are good people wherever there are people. However, once they take a fancy to something they want, they will be more dangerous than anyone else. Chen Xiang laughed. Chen Xiang chatted with the 3 big-sized men for a while before he found out that they were native to this place, called the Ancient Spirit Race. This was also the place where the evil barbarian originated from. They had absorbed the same amount of energy as the evil barbarian, so they were sealed here and could not leave. Their overall strength was actually not weak, comparable to the evil barbarians. Which elder did they come out with? It was only because that elder went to chase after a powerful ancient beast that he made them wait here, and then met Lei Durong. He just so happened to see them picking those rare spirit medicines, so Lei Durong was greedy and wanted to snatch them away. The ancient spirit clan only had a bit more than 1,000 people. The name of their village was the Ancient Spirit Village. The houses in the village were all made of green jade-like stones. It was said that they had been there for hundreds of thousands of years, and were extremely dysprosium. The ancient spirit clan only had a bit more than 1,000 people. The name of their village was the Ancient Spirit Village. The houses in the village were all made of green jade-like stones. It was said that they had been there for hundreds of thousands of years, and were extremely dysprosium. The moment Chen Xiang walked into the village, Long Shui immediately said, "This village is not simple, there are quite a few powerful people, and they are even inside a transparent, profound realm." Just by saying that you can see the outside scenery inside the profound realm, but you can't see in from the outside, this kind of profound realm is very special, very rare. The edge of the village was just a few densely packed forests. Chen Xiang released his divine sense, but was unable to penetrate through, which showed that what Long Shui said was true. Because Chen Xiang saved the few big men, he was invited to this place. What surprised Chen Xiang was that the village head of the ancient spirit village actually personally came to receive him. Chen Xiang chatted with the big men along the way and knew that the village head of the ancient spirit village was the strongest person here. His name was Gu Hua. He was a kind, white-haired old man, and when he walked out, he immediately smiled and said to Chen Xiang, "It has been a long time since someone from the outside came in. Little brother, you have saved these few kids. Please come in." Seeing the ancient saying, Chen Xiang had a strange, unspeakable feeling, and this feeling felt very familiar. He followed Gu Hua to a very simple hall, and that familiar feeling became even stronger. Gu Dongchen. It's just that Gu Dongchen hid his presence very well. Could it be that Gu Dongchen came out of the ancient spirit village? A thought flashed in Long Shui's mind, and he immediately said in shock, "This ancient spirit great land is very far away from the mortal martial realm, why would Gu Dongchen appear here?" Chen Xiang was also extremely shocked in his heart. That familiar aura was indeed very similar to Gu Dongchen's. In addition, Chen Xiang also realized that this Gu Hua and he have something in common, that is, they are very thrifty. Because an outsider suddenly came to the ancient spirit village, many curious children came to watch, but they were all driven away by Gu Hua. Gu Hua pass, said Chen Xiang, a cup of tea. It was pitch black and had a rather pungent smell. Chen Xiang received it and took a sip, almost spitting it out. Village Chief Gu, the taste of this tea. It's weird. Although the taste was bad, Chen Xiang could only swallow his word. Oh? Maybe it's been too long. Gu Hua's old face reddened, and she poured herself a pot of water so that Chen Xiang could eat it. This guy is too stingy. He actually used all these tea leaves that have been placed for who knows how long to make guests drink. He has the same moral character as Gu Dongchen. Long Shui groaned. Village Chief Gu, have any of you left the ancient spirit great land before? Chen Xiang asked. His intuition told him that Gu Dongchen might be one of these people. Gu Hua stroked his beard and nodded. There are a few people who have left before, but all of them have used very special methods, such as the transmission array, or were taken away by outsiders. Hearing Gu Hua say this, Chen Xiang was sure that Gu Dongchen was one of those brats, and it was very possible that he was taken away by his senior brother. Sai, our ancient spirit clan is just too unlucky. We absorbed the same energy as the evil barbarian, drank the same water, and then somehow, a natural formation suddenly appeared. In the end, we were trapped here for many years. Gu Hua sighed. But our ancestors said before, that it was because this is a very dangerous place that a human, neither human nor ghost, was born here. Originally, we were going to move away, but we couldn't bear to part with this village, because it was very safe here. The evil barbarian had attacked us multiple times, and they couldn't do anything to us. We'll be trapped here forever. Although Gu Hua was a powerful warrior with unfathomable strength, he looked like an old man in his late 20s. Little brother, can you tell me what is going on outside? There have never been so many people entering that natural array before. Gu Hua asked curiously. Chen Xiang nodded and then told Gu Hua about the New World's matter. This caused Gu Hua to look at Chen Xiang in fear. Is it finally coming? I never thought that it would happen in my generation. Gu Hua frowned and muttered. Seeing Gu Hua's expression, Chen Xiang had a bad premonition. He anxiously asked, "What is coming?" Great war between three realms. Our ancestors said that the last time great war between three realms would start from our ancient spirit great land. Gu Hua said, "One last great war between three realms." Previously, Long Shui had already guessed that if the demon dweller and the three realms fused together, this would be the last time for the great war between three realms. Chen Xiang drank the tea in one gulp, then asked with a serious expression, "Starting from ancient spirit great land, what does that mean?" Gu Hua laughed desolately. "The first demonic path of the new world is opened from here. The reason the ancient spirit great land gave birth to the evil barbarian is because the SPAC here is very weak and the demon and devil realms' energy can penetrate here, which is why the evil barbarian turned out to be like this, a fusion of demons, and humans." Chen Xiang immediately stood up and clenched his fists. "I need to go back immediately and let everyone prepare. If necessary, we need to seal this place." Gu Hua shook his head. "I can't seal it, you'll know when the time is right. When that Pa-S sage is opened, the powerful spatial energy it generated will tear apart the natural formation, and then, a very large tunnel would appear. It looks like the three continents are connected together." Chen Xiang now understood why so many continents in this world had collided together back then. It was because SPAC was shrinking, and not long after, a very large spatial Pa-S sageway would appear here. Great war between three realms would start from here. This is the last time the three realms will be opened, because it won't be closed any longer. There will be countless tunnels into the new world, and the three realms will be fused together. Gu Hua said. Suddenly, a weak tremble came over. Gu Hua immediately stood up and walked out of the house, raising his head to look at the sky, only to see two gigantic black holes appearing there. What's that? Chen Xiang opened his eyes wide. His face was filled with shock, and the two gigantic black holes were slowly descending. Pas sages, a pas sageway to the demon world and the demon world. As long as they land on the ground, the ancient spirit great land will become larger, double the amount of land, which is the world structure of the demon world and the demon world. The pas sageway, the world channel to the demon world, will become larger, double the number of times the amount of land, which is the world structure of the demon world and the demon world. Chen Xiang finally understood that the mortal martial realm was connected to the demon and devil realms, and the other side of the great devil mountains was connected to the ocean. But now, the great war between three realms had begun. The first of the three realms, pas sage, would be born in the ancient spirit great land. If the ancient spirit race hid in the profound realm, they would naturally be fine. But it was hard to say for themselves where else. If the ancient spirit race hid in the profound realm, they would naturally be fine. But it was hard to say for themselves where else. Fortunately, each world had only one path. If each continent had only one path, then things would become troublesome. I didn't expect it to start so soon. I have to go back and prepare. Chen Xiang had originally thought that there was enough time to wait for him to cross the Nirvana doom, but now, the first pas sage had already appeared. The pas sage above the Chen martial continent would probably appear soon. Be careful. Gu Hua nodded, then sent Chen Xiang out of the ancient spirit village. When Chen Xiang came outside, he felt an extremely dense demonic aura. He took out the Luotian gate and wanted to open a spatial tunnel, but did not succeed because the SPAC was very unstable and there were tyrannical spatial fluctuations everywhere. Now we can only fly back. Chen Xiang turned into a bird and quickly flew in the forest. At the same time, in the dangerous places filled with demonic aura on many continents of the New World, the spatial energy fluctuations were extremely intense. These places were all the same as the Chun martial continent. They were all places where the demonic tunnels appeared in the same world. Because the great war between three realms was nearby, all of the continents sent people to watch. At this moment, Gu Dongchen received the news, and immediately became anxious. The big shots of the various forces in the mortal martial realm were gathered together. The other realms were also in the same state. At this moment they had become extremely united, or else they would be destroyed, and no matter how many resources they had, they would have no chance of using them. When the experts from the ancient spirit Great Land encountered the evil barbarian they tactfully stayed far away. When the pas sage appeared, they basically came to the coastal transmission array and saw the huge black hole in the sky. Could it be that the ancient spirit Great Land is the center of this new world? Generally, this sort of place is the weakest. Bai Yu said. When he first entered the sacred Dan realm, he came from the center of it. It's very possible. Long Shui said. If that's the case, then the center of the demon realm is not so simple. The people there are all strong, it's the gathering place of the devil race. Bai Yu said. Chen Xiang had seen the people of the devil clan before, and they had even been killed before, so he didn't think that they were powerful at all. Although you've killed those people with the surname demon, they aren't of pure devil bloodline. If they have pure devil bloodline, then those at the same level as you won't be weaker than you. Bai Yu said very seriously. I understand. To make Bai Yu be so serious, Chen Xiang knew that Bai Yu was worried about him and wanted him to be careful. Chen Xiang did not notice what happened to the two gigantic black holes. He only felt that a burst of spatial energy was becoming more and more tyrannical, and that the natural formation would definitely be destroyed because of this. At that time, the evil barbarian would be able to leave the ancient spirit great land, and if those evil barbarians were controlled by the demon and devil realms, it would be unimaginable. There's a situation. Someone is coming. It's an intense demonic energy. It should be the people from the demon world. Long Shui anxiously said. Interesting, someone can actually turn into a bird. A gentle yet curious voice suddenly came out, only to see a black net enveloping them. It moved as fast as lightning and trapped Chen Xiang, pinning him down on the ground. Chen Xiang immediately reverted back to his human form, feeling extremely shocked in his heart, because someone actually saw him in his human form. Long Shui had said before, only the experts of the divine way could see through him. How did you do it? If I didn't have the demonic saint's divine vision, I wouldn't even be able to see it. A snow-white man wearing a luxurious black robe lightly landed in front of Chen Xiang. From time to time, a red glow flashed across one of his eyes. Soon after, 2 men and 2 women also landed on the ground. The moment they landed, the surrounding trees were suddenly turned into black ashes, and then were blown away by a strong wind. A charming purple-haired woman said with a disgusted tone, "I hate these trees. I want to destroy them." The hundreds of trees in the surroundings were all destroyed in an instant by this woman, and the technique she used was very strange and terrifying. Chen Xiang, who was trapped in the black net, was dumbstruck. He knew that the 3 men and 2 women that surrounded him were all strong young experts in the demon world, and it was very possible that they were the devil race that Bai Yu mentioned had pure blood. Is this the man of the human world? My looks are pretty good, and my figure is even better than all of you. It's just that my strength is a bit lacking, so I really want to offer my first time to such a handsome man in the mortal world. A red-haired lady said charmingly as she twisted her mature and charming body. Her eyes flickered with a red light, as if she was trying to hook away Chen Xiang's soul. The purple-haired woman, who hated trees, giggled. Big Sis wants to use him to train, right? Look at him. He's very calm. The red-haired girl saw that Chen Xiang was not bewitched by her and said in shock, "My bewitching eyes are useless against him. It seems he is not simple. I really want to see his performance on the bed." Before, Chen Xiang had heard Bai Yu say that there were some women in the demon world who would use some strong and handsome men to cultivate. "Let me ask you, how did you become a bird?" The voice of the white-faced man who looked like a woman asked. It was he who had covered Chen Xiang with the black net. Chen Xiang stood up, let out a cold snort, and his body shook. The transparent and colorless devil-suppressing holy power erupted, turning the black net into black powder. "How did I become one has nothing to do with you. Why should I tell you?" Chen Xiang sneered. Even though he was surrounded by 5 powerful devil cultivators, he was not afraid in the slightest. Looking at the floating black powder, the 3 men and 2 women were stunned. "Number 2, this is the magic weapon that you think is the most powerful," the mature red-haired lady said as she frowned. She was extremely cautious towards Chen Xiang. When the white-faced man saw that his magic equipment had been destroyed, he was instantly enraged. However, his voice was still gentle. "Big sister, no matter how much you like him, I will still turn him into a pile of minced meat and eat him bit by bit. Lao Er, this is the prey that elder sister has set her eyes on. Leave it to me. After I finish training, I should have more bones to eat." The red-haired woman let out a cold laugh. Her hands suddenly turned red, and a pair of red claws appeared on the back of her hands. Chen Xiang heard others discussing how to eat his flesh and bones and felt upset. He never thought that he would be so delicious in the eyes of these devil cultivator. The red-haired girl smiled charmingly. Her clothes suddenly fell apart, leaving only 2 pieces of cloth on her body. One piece of jade peak was wrapped around her chest, while the other wrapped around her waist, revealing her proud figure. However, Chen Xiang was not moved by her actions. One must know that this woman was very bad. She actually wanted to use him to train, and even gave his bones to someone else to eat after cultivating. Nice focus. The red-haired woman knew that Chen Xiang was strong, but she knew that she was not weak. As she spoke, she had already floated in front of Chen Xiang and used her red claws to attack him ferociously. The red-haired girl's punches were extremely fast. Countless of red punches enveloped Chen Xiang, as though each punch was able to pierce through Chen Xiang's body, but what surprised everyone was that Chen Xiang was able to dodge all of them. The red-haired girl's punches were extremely fast. Countless of red punches enveloped Chen Xiang, as though each punch was able to pierce through Chen Xiang's body, but what surprised everyone was that Chen Xiang was able to dodge all of them. Shameless! Chen Xiang scolded. He grabbed the empty door of the red-haired girl and slapped it, fiercely hitting that extremely charming cheek. When his palm touched that smooth and silky cheek, he did not care about the woman at all and immediately released 10 explosive sounds. It was actually the 10th layer of devil-suppressing power. This power was very harmful to the demons. Now that it had been verified, the woman's face swelled up and her beautiful jade teeth were completely shattered by the violent devil-subduing method. Her originally beautiful face now looked completely different. Big sister! The 3 men and 1 woman who were watching from the side hurriedly started to shout. Their faces were full of anger, but they did not attack because they knew that the red-haired woman did not like people interfering with her battle. Chen Xiang could only smile, and took out a very big mirror and threw it over. The red-haired lady looked at herself in the mirror, and immediately became angry. "I will tear you apart." The red-haired woman was furious. Just then, Chen Xiang asked, "Are you from the Demon Eye clan?" This was what Bai Yu had told him, that the red-haired woman had enchanting eyes, the other man had the Saint Devil's divine vision. The other 3 people must have had it too, but they did not say it out loud. "That's right," the red-haired girl immediately replied. She turned into a red shadow and pounced towards Chen Xiang, her speed much faster than before, her red claws even leaving a scratch on Chen Xiang's face. But that was all, because Chen Xiang still dodged it. Chen Xiang laughed. "Other than their powerful eyes, the Demonic Eye clan are lacking in everything else. I thought you guys are the strongest in Devil Race. That's disappointing." At this moment, the 5 youths of the Demon Eye clan were all secretly surprised. This was because even the Demon Realm forces did not know about the internal situation in the Devil Race. "Enough to kill you. What are your last words now? You have already been poisoned by my poison." The red-haired woman suddenly laughed. Although her face was in pain when she laughed, she was truly happy. Just as the red-haired girl was laughing wildly, Chen Xiang suddenly disappeared and appeared in front of the red-haired woman in the blink of an eye. After that, she threw out a punch and another 10 explosions sounded out, and this time, Chen Xiang even used dragon power, as the 2 types of berserk energies fused together, causing the lethality of the demon to increase, and with just 1 punch, the red-haired woman almost spat out all the shattered air and dirt in her body. "Big sis! How could you?" The man with the Saint Devil divine vision shouted in shock, and Chen Xiang had already flashed in front of him. The Slaughter God's hand released a terrifying killing intent that made people despair, bringing an extremely berserk purple lightning that struck the man's Saint Devil divine vision. Although this punch was not made using dragon power, for Chen Xiang who possessed Thunder Soul, the lightning here was equally terrifying. It was only 1 punch, but the man's Saint Devil divine vision exploded, and the strong tap numbed the man's head, causing him to faint instantly. Whether they were dead or alive was unknown, and the remaining 3 people were incomparably shocked, because this was different from their understanding of the human world. In the demon world, the people of the human world were incomparably weak, but the Chen Xiang in front of them was far more powerful than they could imagine. "Let's attack together!" The purple-haired woman shouted out loud. She took out a black pole and rushed towards Chen Xiang. However, before she could even take a few steps forward, had already arrived in front of her, and a vicious lightning fist exploded in her eyes. The two men were also wrapped by the water vines, and the water vines were all wrapped up by Chen Xiang's devil-suppressing holy power, making it difficult for them to escape. This was what Bai Yu had told him. As long as he could harm their eyes, he would be able to make the innate qi in his body chaotic and unusable, and at the same time, destroy their powerful demon eyes. Chen Xiang's two men were also beaten black by Chen Xiang. Although they did not die, they could still be considered to have been destroyed for the rest of their lives. This was Great War between three realms' first battle. Chen Xiang wanted these 5 fellows to go back and tell the demon world that they had won their first battle. So weak. Chen Xiang rubbed his fist and turned back into a bird, quickly flying away from this place. There were people from the demon realm here. It seemed like they had already occupied the interior of the ancient spirit Great Land, and those evil barbarians had also been conquered by them. Bai Yu said, although these 5 people are not the strongest, but their demon eye is very strong. From their service and demonic techniques, their position in devil race is not low, but the demon eye race is usually in a supportive position. For example, if it's someone that has weak willpower, no matter if it's men or women, they would all be bewitched by them. Chen Xiang curled his lips. But it's already gone, I just punched her in the eye. This kind of person, compared to Sister Meiyao, is 1,000 times worse. You actually want to seduce me. You can't even compare to the little Mimi of the Little Bad Dragon, and you still dare to show off in front of me. Of all the women by Chen Xiang's side, regardless of their size, which one of them could be said to be infatuated with a dead person without paying with their life? He had been honed long ago. Apart from these women, it was really hard for other women to make him take off his pants. Ever since he ate Hua Xiangyue, the thing in his crotch received a lot of comfort and admiration and became much more obedient. At the same time, it made his vision even higher. By the side of the ancient spirit Great Land, many experts had already gathered, and the young people were already teleported away. When Lien Yingxiao saw Chen Xiang Rus Hi+ing over with a solemn face, he knew that something big had happened in the ancient spirit Great Land. What's going on inside? Yao Shumi asked anxiously. The dense demonic qi made her face turn serious. Has started. From here on, all of you should quickly go back and make your preparations. The ancient spirit Great Land was the center of this new world, and the tunnel was also the center of it. Didn't the devil-subduing college say that? In the center of demon and devil realms are some powerful fellows. Chen Xiang said. This caused all the experts to be moved. They had already guessed this, but they just couldn't believe it had happened so quickly. The experts did not leave as they were discussing what to do next. At the same time, they were waiting for the warriors who had entered to hunt the demon beasts. The experts did not leave as they were discussing what to do next. At the same time, they were waiting for the warriors who had entered to hunt the demon beasts. You guys better hurry up. Demon and Devil Realms' group will quickly occupy this place. This transmission array cannot be used by them. Chen Xiang said. But Leader Lei hasn't come out yet. We haven't seen him and his 3 disciples. An old man said. Thunder Heaven School and his 3 disciples had already been killed by Chen Xiang, so they naturally would not come out. Chen Xiang casually said, Then you guys can decide. I'll be leaving first. Just as Chen Xiang stepped into the transmission array and was about to open it, he said to the rest of them, You all hurry up and leave. When Chen Xiang was inside, he could not use the Luotian gate to open the spatial tunnel, and the principle of the transmission array was the same. If the SPAC was not stable and they tried to teleport by force, the consequences would be dire. Chen Xiang activated the transmission array and returned to the Super Martial School. At this moment, the entire Super Martial School and the outside Heaven Door City were shrouded in panic, although the PAS Sageway did not appear. the Great Devil Mountains was emitting an extremely strong demonic aura, and the news quickly spread throughout the Chen Martial continent because this was the prelude to the opening of the tunnel. Furthermore, a few experts of the mortal martial realm were gathered here, discussing on how to retreat together. The Great Devil Mountains was very close to the Devil Continent, and the warriors who cultivated in the evil way had long retreated, because they were now respectful to the demons, and worried that they would be exterminated, and had no choice but to behave themselves and join forces with the righteous sects. Great Devil Mountains and Devil Continent were both very close to the Sore. They used to be the most intense place among the Great War between three realms above, because this was the place that was connected to demon and devil realms. Chen Xiang was currently high in the sky, looking down at the distant region shrouded in black fog. Looks like it's going to be soon. Such a dense demonic aura means that a small opening has been opened in the SPAC. Some demons should be coming. Bai Yu said. This was not the first time Chen Xiang had come to the Great Devil Mountains. This time, he indeed felt a very strong demonic aura from the people here, which was the same as the one he felt in the ancient spirit Great Land. The demon Paas Sage that is connected to the ancient spirit Great Land is the headquarters of the demon and devil realms. The world at the heart of the demon realm is extremely powerful. I wonder how long this fierce battle will continue for. Bai Yu sighed. Chen Xiang returned to the super martial school, waiting for Gu Dongchen and the others to return from their meeting. During that time, he had refined some pellets, especially the healing antidote, because the demon and devil realms' and evil demons' use of poison was best at it. At this time, the various worlds all knew that the great war between three realms was coming, and Dan City was even more crowded. Many warriors had spent their entire life savings to buy life-saving pellets, but at this point of time, the pellet stores were running out of supplies. The super martial profound realm had already opened up some areas and built many houses. If the Chern martial continent were to fall, the super martial profound realm would become a refuge, and at that time, as long as the doors to the profound realm were closed, the demons would not be able to come in. The group of big shots in mortal martial realm had already been in a meeting for 3 whole days, and upon Gu Dongchen and Wu Keiming's return, Chen Xiang immediately went to look for them. Junior Master, the situation is very serious. Although the various powers have agreed to send people to guard the Great Devil Mountains, there are not many people who would let go. Furthermore, there are some powers that are pessimistic and think that they will not be able to defend the Great Devil Mountains. Gu Dongchen sighed. How can they think that? Didn't they successfully defend it 100,000 years ago? Chen Xiang said. He paid a very heavy price to successfully defend it 100,000 years ago. Fortunately, there are a few powerful forces in the continent of the king that are willing to send extra people. I wonder if there will be any warriors willing to join when the time comes. Wu Keiming said. Chen Xiang thought for a moment, then said, You and the other big shots of the Chern martial continent should discuss this with each other. Using the demon's head to exchange for a spar, this can motivate many people to join. After all, killing demon and demon beasts are the same, they all need to take risks, but you all need to have enough spar to buy the demon's head. This is a good idea. The spar are not a problem, we big sects have a lot of them. Wu Keiming laughed, but Gu Dongchen could only lament. As a leader, he had to bleed a lot of blood. Oh right, Lu Menger didn't partic. 1. P8 She only sent an elder over, what is she busy with? This is the time. Gu Dongchen said. Chen Xiang was Lu Menger's man, so he believed that Chen Xiang definitely knew about it. Lu Menger and Dongfang Xinhua were researching about how to create a profound realm. If they succeeded, then this would be exciting news. To deal with demons, the power of the Divine Weapons Heavenly Country was essential, because the Divine Weapons Heavenly Country had many weapons. The majority of the disciples in the Divine Weapons Heavenly Country were excellent experts in laying out formations, and all of them were extremely armed warriors. I'll go take a look. Recently, she has been researching very powerful formations, and she has been preparing them for the Great War between three realms. Chen Xiang also wanted to ask Xue Xianxian about the relations Hi+P between him and Ling Yulan. This was an important place and also the place where Lu Meng'er refined his artifacts. Chen Xiang had once been to this place, allowing Lu Meng'er to use her white jade dragon cauldron to refine his flesh. Chen Xiang was unable to find Lu Meng'er in the house, so he could only come here and feel the scorching aura. He knew that Lu Meng'er was currently inside. Chen Xiang entered from a cave and arrived at the belly of the mountain. He saw an incomparably large jade cauldron that was giving off hot air, and on top of the jade cauldron, there was a circular stone platform. They're making array discs, Su Meiyao said. Seeing that Chen Xiang had arrived, Lu Meng'er and him floated down. So this is how the array disc is made. This is the first time I've seen it. Chen Xiang exclaimed as he looked at the huge stone platform floating above. This is only the beginning. Moreover, what you have seen is only the first level. The array discs that we will be creating will be 108 layers. When the time comes, they will be compressed together. As Lu Meng'er spoke, he helped her to wipe the sweat off her jade face. 108 levels? Are all array discs like this? Chen Xiang was shocked. How much time and effort was needed for this to happen? Of course not, ordinary array discs can only go from 1 to 10. What we create are array discs that can create profound realm S. Dongfang Xinyue laughed. Lu Meng'er asked, "What urgent matter do you have for us? We are very busy right now, and we want to get the profound realm out as soon as possible before Great War between three realms starts." Chen Xiang also wanted a profound realm of his own. How grand was that, but he knew that Lu Meng'er and Dongfang Xinyue needed it more than him, so he did not speak up. Chen Xiang also wanted a profound realm of his own. How grand was that, but he knew that Lu Meng'er and Dongfang Xinyue needed it more than him, so he did not speak up. I just want to ask about Xianxian and Yulan's situation. Have they started their tribulation? Chen Xiang was very worried about this. Their strength is already pretty good. Moreover, with your help, they should be able to successfully cross over. When the time comes, they will be in the nirvana stage. It will be safer there with a little profound realm. Lu Meng'er said. Chen Xiang nodded, then pointed to the gigantic floating disk, and asked, "Can this kind of profound realm be Ma.S. refined?" Of course not, the ingredients for this formation plate were ACCU. Mulat over the years by Meng'er and I, and they were all used up in one go. If there are a lot of ingredients, Meng'er and I might be able to quickly refine them in the time formation of Icy Wind Valley. At this time, Dongfang Xinyue had a very good understanding of Lu Meng'er's situation. There was a small profound realm in the Icy Wind Valley, and there were time formation S inside, but men were not allowed to enter this small profound realm. After Chen Xiang left the Divine Weapon's heavenly country, he started thinking about how to obtain these ingredients. The reason why these ingredients were so scarce was because it was difficult to create an array in the mortal realm, so most of the time it would be in a higher realm. At the entrance of the super martial school stood a group of robust men wearing white robes with a black moon painted in the middle. Seeing these servants, Bai Yuyu's voice carried doubt in it as he said, "These are the Black Moon Guards of the Devil race. They have a very high status, and even the Demon Eye race has to be respectful to them. Why would they appear at the entrance of the super martial school now? Were they here to negotiate? Since when did the infernal domain become so formal? What? Is this guy from the demon world?" Chen Xiang immediately rushed into super martial school, only to see Gu Dongchen and Wu Kaming conversing with a middle-aged man wearing black armor. When Chen Xiang came in, the middle-aged man immediately turned and looked at him. Although he released a sharp killing intent, he could not scare Chen Xiang. Beside the middle-aged man, there was a man wearing the same black armor. The handsome face of the man had a light smile, but there was killing intent in his eyes, as if he had a deep grudge with Chen Xiang. Inside the ancient spirit great land, did you injure 5 of my subordinates? The young man asked. Those 5 people of the Devil Eye clan were actually the underlings of this youth. This caused Chen Xiang to be extremely shocked. One must know that the strength of the 5 demonic Eye race members were not bad. After all, their superior was a nirvana stage. There's no other way. I was forced by them. Chen Xiang spread his hands. Chen Xiang, to be able to cause the ancient wasteland devil sect to issue a devil God command is not disappointing. To think that it could actually injure my 5 capable subordinates in such a short amount of time. The young man said indifferently. Hearing the 3 words, devil God token, Chen Xiang couldn't help but have a headache. When he destroyed the devil God altar, he didn't know that he had angered that fierce guy, and that's why he was issued with the demon God token. What should come will eventually come. Chen Xiang laughed bitterly. We are not followers of the ancient desolation demon God, so the demon God token is useless to us. The tall middle-aged man in black armor said. These Devil Realm people actually did not have any malicious intent, and they were even so reasonable, which was a little hard for Chen Xiang to accept. Then what is your purpose in coming here? Chen Xiang frowned and asked, making him puzzled. We are here to warn you, our ancient spirit great land will definitely not partake. 1. P. 8 in any battles, so please do not involve us in any battles, if not, don't blame us for being rude. The middle-aged man said coldly. If you cripple my 5 subordinates, I will remember you. The young man smiled, but it was full of killing intent. Chen Xiang was also not to be outdone. He coldly laughed and said, If you have the guts, get it back now, I'll accompany you anytime. When that time comes, you can accompany your 5 subordinates to be crippled. You! The young man was slightly angry, then snorted and walked out of the super martial school. The tall middle-aged man coldly shot Chen Xiang a glance and followed suit. This devil race of the ancient spirit great land was the strongest, and now he actually wanted to tell others that they would not invade the human world. Chen Xiang did not believe their bulls. Hi+T. If the demonic people of the 3 realms fought to the end and suffered a great loss to their vitality, the demons above ancient spirit great land would be able to easily rule this 3 realms that had been fused. They sure are brave. Aren't they afraid of getting attacked by that crazy old man? Chen Xiang curled his lips and said, These kinds of people are really insidious. According to what I know, they are the strongest powerhouses in the world of demons. Don't worry, I'm better at scheming than you. We will be on guard against them, but little martial uncle, that ghost demon God token seems to be much stronger than the 10 billion bounty. You should just hide. Gu Dongchen said. His worries were not without reason. Maybe some of the followers of the demon God would sneak into the Chen martial continent, also that they could kill Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang laughed. Don't worry, when I have to hide, no one will advise me, I will hide, and at that time, other than myself, no one will be able to find me. The great war between 3 realms was a very good chance to train himself. Chen Xiang had learned so many demon-subduing arts, and he also had a green dragon demon-slaying broadsword. If he did not display his power, how could he face all these? In this new world, it seemed as if only the ancient spirit great lands Sageway had been opened, and many powerful forces had received the devil race's warning. That devil race would not engage in any battles, and would obediently stay in the ancient spirit great land. If there was anyone who would disturb them, they would definitely take action. Although the devil race said this, no one trusted them and they were all on guard. When the news of the ancient spirit great land Sage's opening spread throughout the New World, the panic in the New World grew even more intense. Junior Master, the situation in Great Devil Mountains is very bad. Now every force has started to send their people. They have to send the 20 elite disciples to take the lead, and I will take the lead in Super Martial School. Wu Kaming said. Am I part of it? Chen Xiang asked anxiously. No, but there are Yun Xiaodao and the others. The reason why we did not let you go is because we agreed to it during the meeting, because you were too good at stirring up trouble and did not follow the arrangements. At that time, all of the sects would cooperate with each other. Wu Kaming said. Chen Xiang snorted in annoyance and asked, Then can I go there myself? Wu Kaming laughed. It's not impossible, but you must not cause any big things. When the warriors found out that the demon's head could be exchanged for a spar, they ran over excitedly, waiting for the Pa's sage to open. Most of the warriors who dared to come here were fearless, and were also hunters with blood on their blades. Those warriors who did not have any sects naturally could not compare to the elite disciples that those sects focused on training, but among these warriors, there were also many that were famous. After these warriors learned the devil-subduing method, they became much more confident and thought that the demon's head would be easier to obtain, so they came together. Those warriors who did not have any sects naturally could not compare to the elite disciples that those sects focused on training, but among these warriors, there were also many that were famous. After these warriors learned the devil-subduing method, they became much more confident and thought that the demon's head would be easier to obtain, so they came together. You little B-A-S-T-A-R-D-S, remember, don't break the heads of those monsters, and use them to exchange for spars. A middle-aged man warned a few young men. The young men nodded. The brains of fiendish demons were much easier to deal with than those of demonic beasts. These warriors had all come prepared. Before they had come, they had already known about these demons from the devil-subduing college, and they had all thought of some techniques to prevent them from suffering any calamities. However, when they saw the elite disciples of the various forces in mortal martial realm, they immediately felt that their competitiveness was very high. However, they knew that there would definitely be a lot of demonic chi cultivators at that time, and the number of demonic chi cultivators there would also be very limited. Chen Xiang also snuck into the group of warriors. He could not be with the Super Martial School's group. Another reason why those powers didn't want him was because he was too strong and could act alone. If he wasn't a burden to the team, then the team would be a burden to him, and teamwork was especially important. If Chen Xiang was with the rest of them, when he met the demon, he would definitely charge forward like a runaway horse. 3 days had passed, and more people gathered here, forming groups of 3 or 5. Chen Xiang also saw some of Devil-Subduing College's students and people. However, no one entered. Before these people came, they had already collected a lot of information, and if they went in now, it would be the most dangerous. Perhaps they might even be killed by the strong warriors of the demon and devil realms. However, everyone was extremely excited, because it wouldn't be long before they could make their move. If one was high in the sky, they would be able to see 3 enormous continents connected together. On the continents of the demon and devil realms there was a very large spatial gate, and the continents of the other demon and devil realms could all pass through that continent that was connected to the mortal realm. Demon realms people are more difficult to deal with than evil demon of the demon realm, because devil cultivator of the demon realm look like humans. They can sneak into our ranks, and have intelligence similar to the human realm. Demon realms people are more difficult to deal with than evil demon of the demon realm, because devil cultivator of the demon realm look like humans. They can sneak into our rank. If one wanted to enter the Great Devil Mountains, they would have to cross a field, and every day, there would be people standing on the plains, looking at the Great Devil Mountains that was filled with dense demonic chi. On the 10th day after the Pa's sage was opened, Chen Xiang suddenly noticed many things walking out from the Great Devil Mountains. Upon closer inspection, it was actually a few devil cultivator and evil demon. They lined up in a row. There were only 1,000 of them, making everyone extremely disappointed. This was because they had tens of thousands of people waiting here. This number was simply not enough for everyone. The demons have actually joined forces. It seems they have become a lot more rational. This isn't a good thing. You said. In the past, the demon and devil realms was also hostile to each other, but now they could walk out together. At this moment, the elite disciples that had been sent out by the major powers had also walked out. There were several thousands of them. Chen Xiang watched the situation unfold from the side. What made him happy was that Yun Xiaodao, Zhu Rong and the others were all at the late stage of the 100 refining realm. This kind of speed, in the eyes of normal people, was already considered fast. Is the human world that barbaric? Gathering so many people and trying to kill us all in one fell swoop? And then invade us? A tall man with long ears walked out. His eyes were bloodshot and his skin was fair. On the back of his hand there was even some white fur. This is a rabbit demon with rabbit blood. It looks like the evolution of the demon world is pretty good. I wonder what kind of beauty is in the demon world? Will there be any other pleasures or thrills when you play with them? Long Shui laughed. The demon and devil realms had invaded the Chen martial continent before, and had lost a lot of people. If they did not attack, the Chen martial continent would not have retaliated, but now they called the human world barbaric, truly shameless. Of course, these were all events from 100,000 years ago. In these 100,000 years, any changes in the demon and devil realms would not be surprising. It was just that based on their surnames, it was hard to not be suspicious of them. Don't look at how small we are. If you want, we can start a war right now. You guys aren't enough for us to kill. The rabbit demon said with a faint smile. We naturally do not wish for a bloodbath. 100,000 years ago, you invaded our land and we retaliated against you righteously. The evidence is all in the great devil mountains behind you. The martial arts elder of continent of the king said. We don't deny that, but it is 100,000 years ago and the resources of our demon and devil realms have always been poor. The things that happened 100,000 years ago have proven that it was a mistake, so we cannot make that mistake again. The rabbit demon said. Originally, everyone had planned to fight a battle with them and use their heads to exchange for spar, but now, demon and devil realms was going to take a peaceful route. Of course, this was a good thing. However, everyone was still worried that there was a trick to it. Wu Kaming laughed. Then tell me, what method do you want to use to obtain our resources? We won't give it to you. At this time, a middle-aged man from the demon world said, Of course we won't let you give it to us. If we, the demon and devil realms, join hands, you people from the mortal realm would have no chance at all. Hearing this, everyone knew that the demon and devil realms would not walk the peaceful path. Opportunity? Wu Kaming sneered. We will give you a fair compet. 1. Tie an opportunity to prove that you are not worthy of these resources. The rabbit demon said. This made everyone curse. The resources in the human world were originally theirs, they didn't even know if they deserved it. What if we don't agree? From the beginning, Wu Kaming did not think that the demon and devil realms would walk a peaceful path. The rabbit demon said with a sinister laugh, If you don't agree, our demon and devil realms will join hands and defeat you, making you our slaves. Demon and devil realms was still the same as 100,000 years ago. However, he had become a little smarter, and did not rush over to attack from the very beginning. Chen Xiang laughed coldly. Dogs can't stop themselves from eating feces, why are you wasting words with them? Cut off all their heads, this kind of head is worth the most even if they can exchange for spar. Chen Xiang took the lead and jeered, causing the people to all shout and rush over, but they were suppressed by the elders from the continent of the king. Chen Xiang took the lead and jeered, causing the people to all shout and rush over, but they were suppressed by the elders from the continent of the king. The rabbit demon from the demon world said with a sneer, We want a peaceful solution to the conflict. If you want a war to break out, we'll keep you company anytime. Chen Xiang did not believe that the demon and devil realms would be so kind. They lacked resources. No matter what, they would eventually invade the human world. An elder of the Wu clan asked, "Then what do you want to do?" The rabbit demon could tell at a glance that only those in uniform standing in front could make a decision. Those idle warriors were just making a lot of noise. We just want to see whether or not you mortal realm martial artists are worthy of the rich resources here. As for how we look at it, we can only see it through battle, and the method is not too harsh. Instead, it's us who are at a disadvantage. When the rabbit demon said this, a big man and a tiger-headed man came out from demon and devil realms. They seemed to be quite strong. We will only send 2 warriors out, and you can send 10 of them to fight against our 2 warriors one-on-one. As long as you defeat our 2 warriors, you can prove that you are qualified to enjoy the resources here. The middle-aged man from the demon world said, "If you 10 warriors can't defeat our warriors, then you have to give us most of the resources. 10 against 2, as long as the other 2 warriors were placed on the ground, it would be considered as a win." Although it looked like demon and devil realms was indeed at a disadvantage, many people still did not believe in this kind of good thing. "Rabbit, this is just what you said. The great leaders in your demon and devil realms have not come out. How can we believe you? You can represent the demon and devil realms?" Chen Xiang said with a sneer. His voice had been altered before, so no one could hear him. Demon and devil realms only came out with a little more than 1,000 people. Although all of them looked to be quite strong, there were very few in the nirvana stage, with only the rabbit demon and the middle-aged man who spoke being nirvana stages. The rabbit demon seemed to be well prepared. He immediately said, "We can represent the demon and devil realms. As long as you win, our demon and devil realms guarantees that we won't invade your human world. You can rest assured on this point." "How can you guarantee this?" Chen Xiang snorted. "Just based on what you said?" The rabbit devil heart was a little angry but still replied, "It's up to you to believe me or not. If you guys want to fight, then we can start today. When the time comes, don't be barbaric." Chen Xiang finally understood the demon and devil realms' intentions. If they win, they can seize the resources because the human world has to keep their promise. If they lost, the demon and devil realms could act shamelessly and still start a war. This plan was not wrong, but they thought too highly of the human world. If they could delay the war, they would be able to make more adequate preparations. Moreover, they were in a 10 versus 2 situation, so they were confident that they could win. "All right, we agree. I hope you can keep your promise when the time comes," the elder of the continent of the king said. At this time, the various large sects were all discussing which disciple to send, and naturally, the disciples of Nirvana stage couldn't go on stage because none of the opponents were Nirvana stages. After a short discussion, the human world decided to send out those disciples who had mastered the art of suppressing demons. Chen Xiang did not know which 10 people he was supposed to send out, but now one of them walked out. Judging from his clothes, he should be a vain martial cultivators' leader, a vain martial cultivators. "I didn't see that big sister Lan Lan. Isn't she qualified?" Long Shui asked doubtfully. Both she and Yen Yenran did not come. "It must be because they have other matters to attend to," Chen Xiang said. The rabbit demon said to the blue blood race of the blue blood race, "You can choose either a warrior from the demon or demon realms." Lan Gang, who will choose the demon world? The clan elder of the blue blood race shouted. Lan Gang was a powerful-looking bearded man. Looking strong and full of power, he nodded and chose the warriors of the demon world. "Mod, have a good spar with your friend from the human world." The middle-aged man sneered. "Right, dying in this battle is my responsibility, so it's best if you all admit defeat." The expression on the rabbit demon's face was as though they were certain to win. Lan Gang clenched his fists tightly. He was the first person to fight against Devil Cultivator, and he was under a lot of pressure because he knew nothing about this Devil Cultivator in front of him. It looks like that MOD belongs to the Demon Eye race. It's just that I don't know what eyes he has, no wonder they are so confident. The Demon Eye race is a treasure in the demon world's small world. By Yu said. The Compet. 1. Tyan started. MOD was the first to attack. He started with his STU. R. DY legs and started sprinting. This STU. R. DY Demon Realm Warrior looked like an angry bull, using his fastest speed, charging towards Lan Gang. Lan Gang was also a big guy, and his body was no smaller than MOD. Seeing MOD Russ. H.I. plussing towards him, his face was full of excitement. He waved his fist, which condensed a berserk in HE, and just as he was about to punch out, he suddenly stopped for a moment. Right at that moment, MOD charged towards him with his fists together, like two iron pillars. They collided onto Lan Gang's body. The devilish aura on MOD's body was extremely tyrannical. It could be seen how powerful that strike was as it blasted Lan Gang's huge body away. Lan Gang fell to the ground with two BLOODY holes on his body. The two punches from before had actually caused two BLOODY holes to appear on Lan Gang's body. Admit defeat. When the elder of the Blue Blood race saw MOD, he immediately shouted to MOD that Lan Gang could no longer fight. If this continued, he would only be beaten to death. The next disciple of the Lotus Island who would fight was also one of Lien Yingxiao's sons. His name was Lien Zhe, and like Lien Yingxiao, he was very handsome. When Lan had just punched out, he suddenly stopped, as if he was affected by something. The innate qi in his entire body suddenly stopped, which caused him to lose the protection of the innate qi, and caused him to be blasted with two BLOODY holes. Chen Xiang said. That's right, there are a lot of different kinds of demon eyes in the Demon Eye race. They have all kinds of different abilities and none of them are fixed in place, but they are all very useful, so the Demon Eye race is one of the strongest in Devil race. Bai Yu said. MOD, because everyone now understood MOD to a certain degree, it was because he knew how to use a type of strange technique that could make people suddenly stop, and also have a wild power. Lien Zhe believed that as long as he preemptively attacked and used an extremely fast speed, he would not be afraid of being hit by that mysterious technique. However, just as Lien Zhe arrived in front of MOD and was about to attack, he suddenly stopped. Although it was just for a moment, his body was struck continuously by MOD's two terrifying fists, and in an instant, he suffered hundreds of punches, causing the bones in his upper body to almost break. Once again, it was the same as before, heavily injuring the ground in a single move. MOD's violent strength caused many warriors who were spectating to feel their scalps go numb. Those disciples of the famous sects were all wearing powerful armors, but it was completely useless. Once again, it was the same as before, heavily injuring the ground in a single move. MOD's violent strength caused many warriors who were spectating to feel their scalps go numb. Those disciples of the famous sects were all wearing powerful armors, but it was completely useless. Not only was MOD able to release a strange power that caused people to pause, his attack speed and power was also extremely terrifying. Lien Yingxiao quickly stopped, if not his son would die in front of him. He took out a white jade lotus seed and placed it in Lien Zhe's mouth, stabilizing Lien Zhe's injuries. The third person was Wang Ji Tianlin of the Great Eagle Continent and Great Eagle Sect, who was also the sect of Lan Hai and Blue Mountain. Lan Hai and Blue Mountain were both figures in the Huang Jintian era, and brothers as well. This time, he did not choose MOD, but chose to join the spirit demon realm with the tiger-headed man. The tiger-headed man was even taller than MOD, and looked like a small giant. He was also very scary, with tiger fur on both of his arms and legs, but he stood there like a human. His head was also a fierce tiger head, and he had a very long and thick tail behind him. A weak person against such a big person made people feel that there was a huge disparity in strength. However, sometimes it wasn't just the difference in size. From the start of the battle, G. Tianlin's entire person seemed to have disappeared. His originally timid gaze became extremely sharp and filled with killing intent, like a hungry falcon. It was as if his prey would never escape his eyes. G. Tianlin suddenly jumped up and opened his arms, unexpectedly circling in the air like a hawk. Looking at his appearance, he could release innate chi wings. This kind of martial arts was indeed rare. All the martial artists there were envious. G. Tianlin seized the opportunity and dove down. Like a bolt of lightning, his body was wrapped in the innate chi, as if it could pierce through the tiger-headed man's body. Looking at his aura, many people believed that G. Tianlin had a high chance of winning, but just as he was about to approach the tiger-headed man, the innate chi around his body suddenly disappeared. Without the innate chi, G. Tianlin was a weak scholar who fell head first into the arms of the tiger-headed man. The tiger-headed man was actually the same as Mod. He knew a special technique that could stop people in an instant. Furthermore, the innate chi would also disappear in an instant. But Chen Xiang's perspective was different. He thought that Mod was the culprit. Mod had the mysterious devil eyes. Mod had been staring straight at G. Tianlin just now, and G. Tianlin had actually lost his innate chi at that moment. Clearly he had been tricked by Mod. With such powerful demon eyes, he must be an elite sent by the demon eye race. Although the ancient spirit great lands of the ancient spirit great lands say that they will not invade, but they will also secretly send out powerful devil cultivators to infiltrate into the various demon realms and join forces with the demon realms to invade the human world. What kind of conspiracy does the devil race have? Bai Yu said seriously. 100,000 years ago, demon and devil realms did not have any schemes and tricks. They were to rush and kill the moment they appeared, but when it comes to tricks, they are much more powerful than the human world. The mortal realm martial artists were defeated one after another, and all of them were defeated in the blink of an eye. There was also a short pause. Chen Xiang removed her makeup and quietly went over to Wu Keiming's side, saying, "Let me go, otherwise you will definitely lose." And also at this time, the 9th person lost, and even lost an arm. The 10th person was originally Super Martial School's Yun Xiaodao, but Chen Xiang actually appeared at this time, causing Wu Keiming to be extremely surprised. "Elder brother Shen, you really came at a bad time. I really want to teach that big flowery cat a lesson." Yun Xiaodao laughed. "But since it's elder brother Shen who has taken action, then he will definitely let us see for ourselves." Chen Xiang laughed, then looked at Zhu Rong and the others, and said in a low voice, "Prepare yourself. If you guys see that I made any other moves, then charge forward." This group definitely had ill intentions. After Wu Keiming heard this, he frowned and said, "You're saying the method to make the innate chi disappear was done by Mod?" Chen Xiang nodded his head. "It's in Mod's eyes. You all have to pay attention to it later. If I destroy Mod's eyes and look at the reaction of those fellows in demon and devil realms, you all have to pay attention to that rabbit and that middle-aged man." Wu Keiming nodded his head. "Go up, now that you have entered the arena, the other forces will not oppose you. They have placed all their hopes on our super martial school." Seeing Chen Xiang suddenly appear, the other big shots of the mortal martial realm sighed in their hearts. He already knew that not letting Chen Xiang come was a mistake, but now that Chen Xiang appeared, they could finally be at ease. Chen Xiang was such a weirdo, it was rare to see him in the entire new world, but with that kind of power and powerful martial arts, it was difficult to find a second one. Chen Xiang, the person wanted by the demon G.O.D. order, you really appeared. The middle-aged man from the devil realm immediately shouted. You never said that you wouldn't allow me to go on stage, right? Chen Xiang smiled slightly, then looked at, who was staring fixedly at that pair of eyes. That's the ancient wasteland devil sex demon G.O.D. badge. Of course it has nothing to do with us. This ancient wasteland devil sect had a demon God, so they could issue a demon God order. As long as it was a subordinate force of the ancient wasteland devil sect or a territory under their jurisdiction, as long as they met a person wanted by the demon God order, they would be killed. Chen Xiang chose to fight with MOD. As long as he destroyed MOD's demonic eye, the tiger-headed man would be easy to deal with. Haha! If I kill the person wanted by the ancient wasteland devil sect, I wonder what kind of expression the ancient wasteland devil sect will have? MOD laughed as he walked over. Seeing that Chen Xiang was so famous in the demon world, everyone secretly admired him. They never thought that Chen Xiang was actually so overbearing to the demon world. Was also BRIMMING with confidence. In his opinion, Chen Xiang was the same as the others. As long as they were attacked by the mysterious devil eye, they could be beaten up by him. Anyone who was familiar with Chen Xiang would know that they could not use common sense on Chen Xiang, and even more so, could not be arrogant in front of him. Chen Xiang didn't know how to deal with the demon eye right now, but he wasn't afraid, because his body was strong. With the protection of the profound wood diamond armor, even if he got beaten up, he wouldn't be seriously injured. Come, I'll let you attack me first. MOD laughed, thinking of how he was able to kill the person wanted by the demon G.O.D. slaying token. He was extremely excited. Even if the opponent didn't let him, Chen Xiang would still have attacked first. At the start, when he flew towards MOD, his speed wasn't very fast, but he wanted to see exactly what kind of demonic eye MOD had. Only by experiencing it for himself would he know how to deal with it. Even if the opponent didn't let him, Chen Xiang would still have attacked first. At the start, when he flew towards MOD, his speed wasn't very fast, but he wanted to see exactly what kind of demonic eye MOD had. Only by experiencing it for himself would he know how to deal with it. Although Chen Xiang's speed was slow, the terrifying dragon power made MOD's heart feel as if it was hitting the heavens. He had begun to understand why the ancient wasteland devil sect would use the devil G.O.D. badge to capture Chen Xiang. Just by relying on such a terrifying power, he was able to match up to the recognized young experts of the devil race. However, MOD was not afraid at all, only that the corner of his mouth raised slightly. His eyes suddenly flashed, causing Chen Xiang's expression to change slightly, because the innate qi in his body suddenly could not circulate at all, and the powerful condensed dragon power did not have the support of the innate qi, and disappeared accordingly. MOD's fist had already smashed over, striking Chen Xiang's cheek. MOD thought that he could enjoy the pleasure of Chen Xiang's face being smashed into pieces, but he did not expect that Chen Xiang would suddenly turn his head, and the moment the tip of his foot touched the ground, he nimbly bounced up and down, and actually dodged MOD's berserk attack that was brewing. That was close. Chen Xiang's physical body was strong in the first place, and when fighting with Huang Jintian frequently, he would often encounter situations where he was unable to use the innate qi, thus he was able to react in time and use his physical body's power to dodge the attack. As expected, Chen Xiang did not disappoint. The 9 people from before were defeated in the same situation, but Chen Xiang was able to avoid them. MOD's pupils contracted fiercely. Chen Xiang had actually escaped his attack, because in his opinion, if the innate qi couldn't be used, both his reaction speed and speed would be extremely slow. That feeling is as though the innate qi has been paralyzed. Fortunately, old lunatic trained me in that area before. Chen Xiang told it to Bai Yuyu. It's the eye, but there are usually 2 types of it. One is to numb the body, and the other is to numb the energy flow within the body, such as the innate qi. By you said, this MOD should be the second type. MOD was a little angry, and he immediately rushed over, at the same time glaring at Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang knew that MOD would usually use his demon eyes at the most crucial moments to release that kind of invisible energy to attack him. Chen Xiang secretly laughed, his body suddenly trembling. A burst of water vapor suddenly appeared, filling Chen Xiang's surroundings with a white fog, causing him to be extremely shocked, because he had lost his target. Chen Xiang's move, Fog Sky, was very familiar to the strong warriors. It was the technique that Chen Xiang used back then, to the hero tournament, where he escaped before the eyes of the strong warriors. MOD couldn't see Chen Xiang, so he couldn't use his demon eye to attack. This made him anxious, and when he was going crazy, bam 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 bam. The sound of 9 rapid thunderclaps consecutively resounded in all directions, shaking the sky and layer upon layer of thunderbolt. The outburst of chi also blew away the white mist. MOD's eyes were bloodshot as he staggered backwards, letting out roars of rage due to the pain and fear. Chen Xiang had just unleashed 2 punches, both of them using the power of the 9th level of the Devil Subduing Method. The Devil Subduing Method could feel that the demon energy in MOD's body had become even more berserk, and the power had increased by more than 2-fold. Seeing MOD's injured eyes, the face of the rabbit demon and the middle-aged man both changed. MOD was their backing, and could allow them to battle victoriously, but the demon eye that MOD was so proud of had been destroyed. As long as the opponent did not shout for him to lose, Chen Xiang would still be able to attack. Devil Suppressing Fist. When Chen Xiang punched, the surrounding SPAC became extremely unstable, but the transparent energy that gushed out from Chen Xiang's fist was visible to the naked eye. The struggling energy was like a demon that had fallen into a furnace. Chen Xiang's devil-suppressing fist used the devil-suppressing holy power. It was much stronger than other people's devil-suppressing chi, and the might of the devil-suppressing fist was also extremely tyrannical. As he punched out, the demons trembled. The power of this punch caused the demons to feel as though they were in hell. With a hong sound, Chen Xiang's fist landed on MOD's chest, causing him to instantly transform into a cloud of black powder, and dissipated into the air along with the wind. Dead. Everyone inhaled a breath of cold air. The MOD, who seemed to be a victor of hundreds and thousands of battles, was now reduced to dust with just 1 punch from Chen Xiang. The people from the human world had long known that Chen Xiang was a very powerful fellow, and were still shocked. As for the evil demon S and devil cultivator S, they were even more shocked and terrified. This was because the strength Chen Xiang had shown just now had caused them to feel uneasy in their hearts. Fierce demon martial arts. He did not expect that the people on the mortal realm side would be able to learn the demon-subduing martial technique that they feared the most. This was extremely disadvantageous to them. Chen Xiang's expression was calm. He looked at the tiger-headed man, and the corners of his mouth raised slightly, causing the tiger-headed man's heart to tremble. The tiger-headed man was very clear that without MOD's help, he would be nothing but trash in front of Chen Xiang. If not for MOD, he would have been defeated a long time ago. You're next. Chen Xiang rubbed his fists as he stared at the tiger-headed man. As long as he defeated the tiger-headed man, even if demon and devil realms lost, according to what they said, if he lost he would not invade the human world. However, no one believed them. The tiger-headed man did not want to fight, but after seeing the gloomy expression of the rabbit demon, he had no choice but to bite the bullet. Begin. The tiger-headed man let out a wild tiger roar. It sounded extremely terrifying, and then he rushed towards Chen Xiang, who had already gathered his energy, waiting to test the demonic cultivation skills he had learnt. When used on Devil Cultivator, the devil-suppressing fist had a very terrifying effect, but when one hears the name, the devil-suppressing fist was only used against Devil Cultivator. I wonder if it would have any effect on the demon's body. The tiger-headed man rushed over, the gigantic tiger claw slammed down. The force released caused a huge crater to appear, but Chen Xiang was able to dodge skillfully, at the same time punching the tiger-headed man in the abdomen. After the fist collided with the tiger-headed man's body, it produced a loud bang. After the tiger-headed man's body suffered the combined power of the devil-suppressing holy power and its energy attack, he instantly turned into ashes. The deaths of Mod and the tiger-headed man greatly reduced the morale of the 1,000+ demons in the demon and devil realms. Mod and the tiger-headed man were the stronger of them all, but now they had been beaten into a pile of ashes. Chen Xiang's demon impression was deeply imprinted in their hearts, causing them to not dare to look at Chen Xiang directly. The deaths of Mod and the tiger-headed man greatly reduced the morale of the 1,000+ demons in the demon and devil realms. Mod and the tiger-headed man were the stronger of them all, but now they had been beaten into a pile of ashes. Chen Xiang's demon impression was deeply imprinted in their hearts, causing them to not dare to look at Chen Xiang directly. It was not because he was angry over the loss of a tiger-headed man, but because Chen Xiang had destroyed their plans. With just a little bit more, their plans would be completed, and they would not have to suffer any losses in order to obtain a lot of resources. When their overall strength far surpassed, said the human world, the invasion and enslavement of the human race would be as easy as flipping his palm. But now all of his plans had been destroyed by Chen Xiang, who was extremely powerful and had rich battle experience. Watching the 9 battles from the side, he had already gained some clues. The demons now understood that those who were wanted by the demon G.O.D. badge definitely could not be underestimated. Even in the demon world, there weren't many devil cultivator that were wanted by the demon G.O.D. badge. The devil heart was filled with rage. A trace of black chi suddenly appeared in his palm. He lightly waved his hand, and the black chi transformed into an arrow that shot towards Chen Xiang, accurately hitting his throat. "Be careful!" Just as Long Shui shouted out, Chen Xiang felt a pain in his throat, as if he was bitten by a mosquito. He immediately used his hand to cover the wound on his throat where the chi arrow had hit. Chen Xiang looked at the black chi that was slowly seeping into his skin and felt his heart getting angry. He anxiously looked around, because the black chi was a very strong poison gas. He never thought that someone would actually plot against him. "It's coming from the rabbit demon. It was the rabbit that attacked you." Although she could discover it, she could not let Chen Xiang avoid it in time. The fact that the rabbit demon dared to secretly shoot an arrow in front of so many mortal realm rankers showed just how much it hated Chen Xiang. When Chen Xiang saw the rabbit demon now, the rabbit demon's face was filled with a pleased smile. The complacent smile on the rabbit demon's face suddenly froze, because Chen Xiang did not die from the poison. The time for the poison to take effect should have already started, but Chen Xiang was still able to stand there and stare at him. Even some of the Nirvana stage's poisonous demons would feel that their lives were better off than death, let alone a human brat. This made him unable to believe it, and more poisonous gas began to condense in his palm, shooting straight at Chen Xiang's arrow that was condensed from the poisonous gas. This time, the poison arrow was slightly bigger than the previous ones. Just because it was bigger, it was discovered by some experts with good eyes. When Chen Xiang stared at the rabbit demon, the experts felt that something was wrong, so they just looked at Chen Xiang. This time, Chen Xiang used his palm to grab onto the poison arrow, and the rabbit demon immediately reacted, because he saw many pairs of eyes staring at him. What a powerful poison! In fact, he didn't even know if this duly was strong. Even if the magical corruption gas had entered his body, he would not have been able to feel its power. "Junior Marshal Uncle, what did this guy do to you?" Wu Kaming became anxious and appeared beside Chen Xiang in a flash. "Nothing, this poison can't hurt me." This rabbit coalesced the poison gas into a gas arrow and then attacked me from the shadows. Chen Xiang said each word, His voice was filled with killing intent and anger. His right hand also released a burst of cyan light aura. The God slaying saber that beheaded demons appeared, the invisible chi that caused the demons to feel uncomfortable spread out, causing them to uncontrollably hi plus ver. Hearing Chen Xiang's words, Wu Keiming immediately glared at the group of spirit demon beings. Yun Xiaodao and the others were also furious. They took out their weapons. "You barbarians, what are you trying to do?" Seeing that something was wrong, the rabbit demon shouted loudly. "What do you want? I will chop off your hare's head." Chen Xiang roared. At the moment he was BRIMMING with killing intent. Maybe it was because the green dragon demon-slain broadsword sensed a large amount of spirit demon chi that infected him. The killing intent that erupted from Chen Xiang's body spread out rapidly, enveloping the entire plane, causing the demons to become even more afraid. Chen Xiang was the first to bear the brunt of the attack. Surprisingly, he did not cower just because the rabbit demon was a nirvana stage. Seeing that, Wu Keiming rushed forward quickly. Yun Xiaodao, Zhu Rong and the others knew that such a thing would happen, and even though they were prepared, they were not afraid at all as they wielded their weapons and rushed towards the demons. "Flatten them!" It was unknown who shouted, but those warriors, who had been waiting for a long time, rushed up like a swarm of bees. The giants and disciples of the other forces also had no choice but to rush up at this moment, otherwise they would be called weak by others. Seeing the tens of thousands of warriors majestically charging towards her, the rabbit demon was dumbfounded. Just their majestic stature was enough for him to not have the courage to fight back. Chen Xiang and Wu Keiming were the first to reach the center of the group of spirit demons. With a slash of his blade, the force emitted from his divine blade cut through 10 evil demons like sharp sickles. The rabbit demon initially wanted to use all of his strength to kill Chen Xiang, but after considering the fact that Chen Xiang had many experts from the nirvana stage backing him, if he did not escape quickly, the only thing he could do was die. "Chen Xiang, remember this," the rabbit demon said as he gnashed his teeth. Then, he turned into a streak of white lightning and shot towards Great Devil Mountains. Chen Xiang snorted. He brandished his divine blade angrily, and wherever he went, evil demon's body would be slashed into pieces by the furious blade chi. The spirit chi above the green dragon demon-slain broadsword also caused the evil demon to fall into despair. At this time, Yun Xiaodao and the others had already rushed over. Without a word, blades and swords danced in the air, blood splattering everywhere. Killing the evil demon made them scream in despair, but Devil Cultivator still tried to retaliate, but he was beaten into meat paste by the powerful Nirvana stage warriors. These thousands of demons were simply not a match for the human world. With just a single charge they were all killed. Corpses covered the field and the ground was covered in red blood. "Where's the elder brother Shun?" Yun Xiaodao looked around, but did not see Chen Xiang. The junior martial uncle entered the Great Devil Mountains. He said that he would go in and check the situation. Wu Keiming said he was not too worried about Chen Xiang. The Nirvana stage's middle-aged Devil Cultivator and the Rabbit Demon could escape in time. Otherwise they would also be killed. This bastard actually dares to plot against me. Normally, I was the one who plotted against others, but now that I've been plotted against by someone, I definitely can't let this sinister fellow return alive. It's too dangerous. Chen Xiang thought. We can't believe the words of the demons. They don't have any credibility to speak of. We have to be wary of them, and now we can strengthen our defenses. Wu Keiming frowned as he looked at the furious Great Devil Mountains, the bridge that connected all the demon and devil realms to the sky. We can't believe the words of the demons. They don't have any credibility to speak of. We have to be wary of them, and now we can strengthen our defenses. Wu Keiming frowned as he looked at the furious Great Devil Mountains, the bridge that connected all the demon and devil realms to the sky. Although the demonic sageway had been opened, the demons still did not immediately rush over. Instead, they were using tactics, and this was also the situation that the experts did not want to see the most. The rabbit demon's speed of escape was extremely fast, and he had a pair of powerful legs. When he was escaping, he would bounce and jump quickly, and in a few moments, he would enter the Great Devil Mountains. But no matter how fast the rabbit demon was, it was not as fast as Long Shui's Heaven Tour method. The rabbit demon was always being watched by Long Shui, who was also chasing the rabbit demon at full speed. This rabbit demon should have only just reached Nirvana realm, which is why it has a human face. Only evil demon, who has completely turned sincere, is the most powerful one. Bai Yu said. Chen Xiang was not afraid of the evil demon that had just reached the Nirvana realm. If he could not defeat it, he would use the last trump card that the magical corruption gas used. Let alone this level of evil demon, even a fully human evil demon would be terrified of the magical corruption gas. Originally, he was more worried about who the powerful mortal realm rankers were following. However, he quickly realized that Chen Xiang was the only one, and he could tell that Chen Xiang's strength had not reached the Nirvana stage. Otherwise, it would be even more terrifying. Is this human brat an idiot? You're too arrogant, daring to challenge me with such little strength. The rabbit demon immediately stopped. In this great devil mountains shrouded in black clouds, the rabbit immediately felt a boost in confidence. That familiar demonic aura caused the blood in his body to become extremely active. Thinking that Chen Xiang had destroyed their plan and killed the over 1,000 demons they brought along, the rabbit devil heart's anger rose to new height. This was not the first time Chen Xiang had entered the Great Devil Mountains. He had been to the most dangerous places in the Great Devil Mountains, so he was naturally not afraid of the demonic aura here. Chen Xiang was not surprised to see the rabbit demon waiting for him. You're quite brave to actually dare to charge into the Great Devil Mountains alone, you arrogant fellow. However, when he saw Chen Xiang summon his green dragon demon-slain broadsword, he immediately became vigilant. The aura Chen Xiang released was the same as the aura released from the devil-suppressing holy power. It was able to make demons fear him and cause multiple times the damage. D.A.M. And rabbit, you want to plot against me? You're still too inexperienced. Chen Xiang slashed his blade out, and the ground beneath his feet started to shake slightly. The dragon power poured into the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, and was then converted into an even more powerful demon slayer by the countless array formations within the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. As this violent slash came SLA's HI plussing over, lightning suddenly flashed in the sky. The saber chi was like 5 bolts of lightning that rumbled as it released bursts of lightning that enveloped the rabbit demon. The strike was too fast. The rabbit monster had no time to dodge and could only release an air S HI plus ELD to protect itself. With an explosive boom, the divine saber hacked down on the chi barrier released by the rabbit demon. The rabbit demon felt as if he was being pressed down by millions of pounds of energy, and the large piece of ground beneath his feet had crumbled into powder. The green dragon demon-slain broadsword would become heavier along with the master's strength. Just now, Chen Xiang had used a very strong power, so the weight of the green dragon demon-slain broadsword became millions of kilograms, and with a single slash, the pressure from the million kilograms would be extremely terrifying. If not for the rabbit demon possessing the strength of the Nirvana stage, being able to use the powerful demonic energy in his body to form AS HI plus ELD to protect himself, he would have ended up like the dust that was left behind. Chen Xiang's slash caused the Great Devil Mountains to be greatly shocked, and even the rabbit demon was extremely shocked by Chen Xiang's slash. It's not over yet. As Chen Xiang said this, he chopped out with his blade at lightning speed. His strength was actually stronger than before, and when the blade cut down, a large area of the ground fell down, making him terrified. This was because the strength Chen Xiang displayed could kill him. His eyes suddenly turned red, the anger in his entire body ignited. The anger caused his power to suddenly soar, and ignited his dragon power and the devil-suppressing holy power, turning his anger into strength. This was the key point of the dragon slaying 7 killing slash. The angry dragon slay, angry slash, the tyrannical power released waves of furious roars, the earth trembled, the black cloud formed by the demon chi in the sky churned, as though the entire world had changed color from the angry dragon's slash. Don't even think about killing me. With a roar, the rabbit demon released all the energy in its body and focused it on the energy SHI plus ELD to increase its defense. Right now, it could not retaliate at all. If it did not focus on defense, it would definitely be stabbed. Several tall mountains in the Great Devil Mountains immediately collapsed as deep cracks suddenly appeared on the ground, resembling spider webs. As for the place where the rabbit demon and Chen Xiang were at, it had even turned into the bottom of a 300-meter-wide crater. The rabbit demon looked at Chen Xiang, who had been repelled by the impact of the attack, and gasped in surprise, "What a terrifying kid. That blade strike just now should have been his limit." The anger on Chen Xiang's body disappeared, but the 1,200,000 Jinyuan granule were still flas. Hi plus ing, his innate chi was extremely dense, and his dantian was screaming in rage. Humph! Chen Xiang let out a low snort, causing people to feel that the calm coast was suddenly filled with waves of gigantic waves, and the shaking of the ground made the rabbit demon feel as if he was deep inside a rippling ocean. Song Lang Slas. H. Plus one of the dragon slaying 7 killing strikes, combined with dragon power and green dragon demon slain broadsword, it could unleash an overturning power. The smile on the rabbit demon's face suddenly froze. He gritted his teeth and quickly channeled all the energy in his body, cursing Chen Xiang in his heart. With the slash of the saber, a torrent of power gushed out from the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, forming a terrifying pressure that struck into the surroundings. This was originally a pit, but now it had become flat ground. "Are you done yet?" The rabbit demon roared angrily, but Chen Xiang's reply was a blade. Angry dragon slay. He was able to withstand Chen Xiang's first, second and third blade, but Chen Xiang kept on hacking and chopping madly, as if the innate chi was worthless. He unreservedly released it all onto the 3 violent and terrifying slashes of the angry dragon slay. Song Lang slash and Thunder slash continuously slashed at the body of the rabbit demon. This was the first time Chen Xiang released his innate chi to his heart's content since he had stepped into the 100 refining realm and engaged in battle. Chen Xiang was not exhausted from the hundreds of consecutive slashes, but the rabbit demon had already chopped off one of its arms. It was unknown just how many times it had turned a huge piece of land. Are all humans so strong? The demonic energy within the rabbit demon's body had already been completely used up, and its body was also suffering from the devastating shock. Are all humans so strong? The demonic energy within the rabbit demon's body had already been completely used up, and its body was also suffering from the devastating shock. "No, but it's about time," Chen Xiang said indifferently. This made the rabbit demon immediately spurt out a mouthful of blood. "You guys are really weak." Chen Xiang slashed again with his blade, but the slash was very gentle, because this was the heart-shocking slash during the dragon slaying 7 slaughtering slash. The rabbit demon's heart had already been smashed by Chen Xiang earlier. If it was a human who had just entered the nirvana stage, just by relying on that kind of dense and vigorous innate chi was enough to counterattack when defending, they simply could not allow Chen Xiang to unleash that kind of terrifying attack one after another. Of course, the reason why the rabbit demon A.S. Association lost was also because Chen Xiang had the green dragon demon-slain broadsword and devil-suppressing holy power. Chen Xiang put away the divine blade and waved his fist at his body. The devil-subduing method and the devil-suppressing holy power mixed together and crazily ravaged the rabbit demon, causing it to let out painful howls. "That's enough, let's see what he has in mind." "By you said." Just as Chun Xiang was about to use soul-absorbing devil spell, Long Shui suddenly shouted, "Dodge quickly, there's danger." Hearing Long Shui's warning, Chun Xiang hurriedly dodged. At the same time, an explosive sound exploded and the rabbit demon's body was blown into pieces by the ball of air that was filled with devil aura. Chun Xiang immediately turned his head and saw a middle-aged man dressed in black standing on top of a huge rock in the distance. This man was the middle-aged man from the demon world, and his strength was greater than the rabbit demon's. "Don't try to force him to say anything," the big man sneered. "Cui Sha, you were actually watching me all this while, and why didn't you save me?" The rabbit demon's head could still talk, but it was kicked to pieces by the middle-aged man called Cui Sha. "If I save you, then I can't capture this brat alive. I still have to thank you for draining this brat's power from me." Cui Sha laughed. Now, Chun Xiang finally understood why the devil realm was so much more difficult to deal with than the demon realm. The devil cultivator of the devil realm was even more cunning than their allies. "Capture me alive?" Chun Xiang was actually not afraid at all. "That blade of yours is good stuff, but I know that you won't obediently hand it over. So, I can only grab onto you and try to find a way for you to hand it over." Cui Sha laughed sinisterly. For example, Chun Xiang's green dragon demon-slain broadsword, they were not easy to sn. Because they were connected to Chun Xiang's body, so Cui Sha could see through this. Chun Xiang hastily jumped up and left the giant pit he created and flew towards a forest far away. S strength was far stronger than the rabbit demon's, and he had used up most of his innate qi, so he could no longer sustain a battle. "You can't escape," said with a smile. Chun Xiang escaping meant that he no longer had any strength left, and since they were deep inside the great devil mountains, Chun Xiang was unable to escape for a while. When Chun Xiang was flying away, he took out a 5 elements profound Dan and ate it. This was a high-grade ground-level pill. Not only could it recover its strength, it could also increase the strength of the innate qi. In the dark forest, Chun Xiang ran as fast as he could. Cui Sha felt that Chun Xiang was just running away, so he was not in a hurry to kill Chun Xiang. He was just leisurely killing him. He just felt that it was extremely strange, because Chun Xiang's speed was extremely fast. Even if Cui Sha raised his speed to the maximum, it would only be able to shorten the distance between them by a little. "This guy really thinks that he will catch me." Chun Xiang laughed coldly in his heart. Then, he suddenly flashed behind a large tree, quickly turned into a black little flying insect, withdrew his aura and quickly flew away. Cui Sha suddenly lost his target, and angrily smashed the tree to pieces. He then searched everywhere for Chun Xiang, and Chun Xiang also followed him secretly. Chun Xiang could not let this Cui Sha return alive. This kind of treacherous devil cultivator would cause great harm to the human world sooner or later. Hiding in the dense treetops, Chun Xiang returned to his human form and took out the death-haunting arrow S. Afterwards, he released the magical corruption gas S that he compressed in his dantian a little bit, and then used the death-haunting arrow S to condense an arrow of air to aim at the distant Cui Sha. "My poison is much stronger than that rabbit's." Chun Xiang chuckled in his heart and released the arrow. Last time, the leader of the Thunder Heaven School was killed like this by Chun Xiang, so this Cui Sha's strength was far weaker than the leader. Cui Sha felt something strike his body, and then, he felt a corrosive substance ing into his body. He was immediately shocked, because he knew that it was a magical corruption gas. Cui Sha immediately channeled his energy within his body to suppress the magical corruption gas that were moving around, or else he would have turned into purple-black rotten flesh. After knowing that he had been infected by the super-old poison, Cui Sha's face turned pale white, and his forehead was covered in sweat. The people of the demon world all knew about the power of magical corruption gas, and even though this kind of super-old poison was forbidden in the demon world, there were still some even more vicious devil cultivator that used it. Right at this moment, Chen Xiang walked over with a smile. In the dark forest, Chen Xiang's smiling face looked like the person who took him away from Hell. The taste of the magical corruption gas must be terrible. Chen Xiang laughed as he opened his palm, revealing a ball of black qi that jumped about playfully on his palm. The muscles on Cui Sha's face twitched frantically. The fact that Chen Xiang could control this kind of magical corruption gas and release it as he pleased caused him to be extremely shocked. A fellow who could control magical corruption gas was something that the world could not tolerate. Cui Sha now knew the terror of Chen Xiang. Let me tell you, this magical corruption gas is inside the Great Devil Mountains. There are a lot of them down there, but the demon and devil sinkhole is sealed by us, but as long as we remove the seal, Chen Xiang said slowly, his hand also pressing on Cui Sha's head. Cui Sha was shocked. There was actually a large amount of this stuff in the Great Devil Mountains. If it was released, then a large number of demons that were stationed there would definitely die. What are you doing? Soul-absorbing devil spell. How could you? Cui Sha had a headache, because Chen Xiang used the soul-absorbing devil spell to brutally plunder his memories. Cui Sha was extremely shocked, and wanted to perish together with Chen Xiang, who knew that the moment he stopped suppressing the magical corruption gas, his entire body started to rot. His meridians could not withstand the immense power, so he was unable to attack Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang already got what he wanted to know, and Cui Sha also became a purple-black rotten corpse. It was extremely terrifying. After burning Cui Sha's body to ashes, Chen Xiang faintly smiled, because he had obtained very important information from Cui Sha's memories. Devil race, sure enough, you guys are in charge of everything. Dogs can't stop themselves from eating H+T. Chen Xiang sneered. The demon world and demon world were all like the mortal realm, with many different worlds merged together, while the entire new demon world was ruled by the devil race. Previously, the big shots of the devil race were trying to gain fame in the human world, but they wouldn't take the initiative to invade. This was one of their schemes. The commotion caused by Chen Xiang and the rabbit demon during the battle was not small, and had already alarmed the demons that were deeper inside. However, the demons did not check because they felt that it would be safer inside the Great Devil Mountains. The commotion caused by Chen Xiang and the rabbit demon during the battle was not small, and had already alarmed the demons that were deeper inside. However, the demons did not check because they felt that it would be safer inside the Great Devil Mountains. Walking out of the dim forest, Long Shui suddenly sensed a group of devil cultivator approaching him. There were a total of 50 to 60 people, but their strength were all not bad. When Long Shui just discovered this group of devil cultivator, Chen Xiang had already seen them, and these devil cultivators seemed to know he was here as they quickly ran over. It's you. Chen Xiang was not surprised. The two people he saw were the devil race's two people who would never invade the mortal world, but they were only the young man. From Cui Sha's memories, Chen Xiang knew that the young man was called Moe, and was the eldest young master of the devil race's patriarch. He had the orthodox Mo clan bloodline, and was even more N.O.bly than the demonic I clan. Was extremely surprised. He did not expect to meet Chen Xiang here. Previously, he and his father had declared that they would not invade the human world, but now, he had appeared in the Great Devil Mountains. Chen Xiang had crippled 5 of Mo Yi's proud subordinates, who were also from the Demon Eye clan, and this was something that Mo Yi had always kept in mind. Now that Chen Xiang was here alone, Mo Yi could only kill him. Cui Sha didn't know too much, but this Mo Yi definitely knew a lot. Chen Xiang was secretly excited. He didn't think that this Mo Yi would deliver himself to his doorstep at this time. Aren't you from ancient spirit great land? Why did he come to this place? Or did you come out from the depths of Great Devil Mountains? Ha ha! I knew that you guys had some tricks up your sleeves, and it's really true. You guys can't be trusted at all. Chen Xiang laughed. He was not afraid, which surprised Moe. Humph, since you've already caught sight of me, I definitely can't let you leave here alive. Moe sneered. Chen Xiang sarcastically retorted, dogs don't change their way of eating **t. Now you admit that you guys are scheming against the human world? Moe said, so what? You don't have the chance to report it. Kill him. Moe shouted and then retreated. He did not plan to do it himself. Seeing Moe give the order, Chen Xiang grabbed the air. The green dragon demon-slain broadsword suddenly appeared, holding the divine blade tightly in his hand. It spun in place, then spat out waves of dragon power chi, wanting to create a huge pressure of millions of Jin that formed into a tornado and pulled all of the incoming Devil Cultivator into the tornado. Devil Cultivator's physical body was very strong, but he couldn't withstand the pressure. In just an instant, those dozens of powerful Devil Cultivator were crushed to death. Previously, when Chen Xiang had consumed the 5 elements profound Dan, his innate chi had recovered very quickly. As long as the other party was not from the nirvana stage, he would have more than enough strength to deal with them. One had to know that out of his 50 to 60 subordinates, which one wasn't battle-worn, which one of them wouldn't make others tremble with fear in the devil realm, yet, in front of Chen Xiang, they were all instantly killed. On the contrary, he was extremely excited because he felt that he had finally met a powerful opponent. Even in the devil realm, it was very difficult for him to have the chance to fight against someone who was on par with him. Even if he faced a devil cultivator who had just entered the nirvana stage, he had a certain chance of winning. You are really strong. Mo Yi's handsome and ice-cold face was completely calm as he took out a very long black stick. This item should be at the same level as immortal equipment. Bai Yu said. So what if it was a celestial item? Chen Xiang's green dragon demon-slain broadsword was a delay weapon, but if the opponent had very strong power, even if Chen Xiang had a delay blade, he would not be able to easily cut off the weapon. You want to kill me? Moe looked into Chen Xiang's eyes and asked. That's because you want to kill me. I can see that you have some skills too. Chen Xiang smiled faintly. You don't understand the world of demons, otherwise you would never have thought like this, you would only feel fear towards me. I am indeed surprised that you could kill my subordinates, but you must know that in my eyes, they are nothing more than a bunch of dogs. Mo Yi's voice was ice-cold, carrying a hint of arrogance. Aren't you a member of the orthodox bloodline in the devil race? Chen Xiang said. Chen Xiang actually knew all this. Moe frowned. Seems like you know quite a lot. Bai Yu was an expert of the heavenly demon realm. One must know that the heavenly demon realm was a powerful, high-grade world that could be compared with the heaven realm. I also know that the group of demons behind Great Devil Mountains want to listen to your devil race. I also know that you're already 600 years old this year. Chen Xiang laughed. Chen Xiang could clearly see Mo Yi's ident. 1. Tie from that Chui Sha's memories. In the world of demons, Mo Yi was one of the few, the strongest existence beneath the nirvana stage. Then you killed the rabbit and Chui Sha? Mo Yi raised his eyebrows. He was not surprised that Chen Xiang had killed the rabbit demon, but he was very clear about Chui Sha's strength. Of course, Chen Xiang would not be so vigilant of him, he laughed. I was the one who killed him, but I didn't do anything. That rabbit's poison is really strong, I was just using it a little. Moe laughed coldly. I knew this idiot would do bad things. His poison is indeed enough to poison Chui Sha to death. But you were the one who killed the rabbit demon, right? It wouldn't be difficult to get something out of this guy's mouth. Both the rabbit demon and Chui Sha did not go back, and because the Great Devil Mountains made such a big commotion, Moe brought people out to investigate. Chen Xiang laughed and said, "It's about that." Moe laughed out loud. "Then you will definitely lose today. You must have consumed quite a lot of your strength in your battle with the rabbit demon." Following Moe's wild laughter, the demonic qi in the air surged, and actually descended from the sky, entering Moe's body, causing his originally thin body to grow larger, ripping off his clothes, revealing his sinister and terrifying muscles. Chen Xiang retreated a few steps. The demonic aura that rushed into the sky was extremely strong, like a hurricane. But Chen Xiang was not afraid. He cultivated the demon-subduing martial art. He had the green dragon demon-slaying broadsword, and that was the same as slaying demons. If he was afraid, he would lose all these powers. You're only SOSO, and you're actually using this kind of power. But don't think that I'll be afraid of you just because of this. Chen Xiang sneered. Moe roared, holding the black rod. He smashed it towards Chen Xiang's head, producing a strong pressure that tore apart the ground. If Chen Xiang was not able to dodge in time, his head might even explode. Moe's stick was extremely berserk. When it came cross.h.I. plussing down, it turned into countless thorns, forming a net that enveloped everything down. If Chen Xiang's reaction wasn't quick, he would definitely have been hit by the rod. Moe's stick was extremely berserk. When it came cross.h.I. plussing down, it turned into countless thorns, forming a net that enveloped everything down. If Chen Xiang's reaction wasn't quick, he would definitely have been hit by the rod. Angry Dragon Slay. When Chen Xiang dodged, he finally found a gap to counterattack. The divine blade trembled, the furious dragon roared, and the weather changed color. Although it was only one slash, it was much more tyrannical than Moe's previous attacks. Moe's face became extremely gloomy. The storm that was formed from the strong pressure salt him made his body feel extremely uncomfortable. He finally understood why Chen Xiang could use that power to turn all of his subordinates into meat paste. If he was not cautious, he would not be able to fight against such powerful force. Moe raised the iron rod high, blocking one slash from Chen Xiang's blade. The resulting vibration penetrated Moe's body, causing the air and organs in his body to constrict. It was extremely uncomfortable. The energy that the devil-suppressing holy power and the green dragon demon-slaying broadsword had transformed into was extremely injurious to demons. At this moment, Moe could feel it. The power made him feel fear, and he quickly understood what kind of power it was. Demon fighting art, but this is not the devil-suppressing qi. What is it? Moe asked, but Chen Xiang did not reply him, and instead stabbed him with her blade. The blade wind was like a berserk wave, sweeping towards Moe. Lightning flashed, making Moe feel as though he was in a sea of anger. The devil-suppressing holy power made him feel extremely powerless. He never thought that Chen Xiang would be able to hold on to this kind of anti-demon martial arts, and in the demon realm, this was the kind of martial arts he was most afraid of. The impact of Chen Xiang's one slash of the Kangang sword was like a monstrous wave, SMA's HI plussing into Moe's body, and causing him to spit out a mouthful of blood. What kind of power is this? Moe was deeply shocked by the power released by the green dragon demon-slaying broadsword. Chen Xiang laughed coldly. This blade is called the green dragon demon-slaying broadsword and is specifically used to slay demons. The power I use is called the dragon power. Of course, I also fused with the devil-suppressing holy power. Devil-suppressing holy power. Hearing these 4 words, Moe's body trembled. According to his knowledge, this kind of power could only be cultivated by people above Heaven Realm. Even in Heaven Realm, there were not many that could produce this kind of power, but Chen Xiang was able to cultivate it. It was truly unbelievable. If not for him personally experiencing it himself, he would never believe it. This Moe's strength was not bad. If Chen Xiang did not have the green dragon demon-slaying broadsword and the devil-suppressing holy power, maybe he would have already been beaten into meat paste by Moe. If not for the demonic energy in his body, Chen Xiang's power would not have hurt him so much, and the green dragon demon-slain broadsword and the demon fighting art that Chen Xiang had would have been used to suppress demons. Ha ha! Moe suddenly burst out laughing. His body suddenly swelled up. He extended his hand and grabbed the angry dragon sleigh that Chen Xiang was chopping at him with, causing Moe's eyes to turn red, the demonic qi on his body to surge out. All the demonic qi in the Great Devil Mountains was being absorbed by Moe. Chen Xiang was startled, because he suddenly felt the energy in his body draining, and this Moe actually had a type of demonic technique that could devour other people's cultivation skills. This guy has a devilish yang body. He cultivates a devilish yang engulfing technique that is as powerful as the devouring magic kung fu. However, only someone with a devilish yang body can practice a devilish yang engulfing technique. Bai Yu said in shock. The advantage of this demonic yang body is that it can quickly turn all kinds of powers into demonic qi and become his. Moe laughed loudly. Do you feel like the energy in your body is leaking? Ha ha. That's right, you are being devoured by me. It won't be long before you become a desiccated corpse. Chen Xiang's face was calm. He only felt that it was funny, because he never thought that there would come a day where he would be engulfed. There was one drawback of his devil yang swallowing technique, and that was when he was devouring it, he could not choose a target. For example, now that he had used it, not only would he be absorbing the power from Chen Xiang's body, but he would also be absorbing the demonic qi around him, causing his body to expand rapidly. Don't be too complacent, Chen Xiang said with a sneer. His eyes suddenly turned red, and then a burst of red light shone out of his eyes. The demon-penetrating eyes now released countless rays of strong destructive light that pierced through Moe's vital points, causing him to instantly shrivel up like a deflated ball. Moe was shocked. Although this was the first time he had seen this kind of devilish art, he was able to recognize that this was one of the permeable heart demon eye of the devilish world. This was an exceptional technique created by the demonic eye clan's ancestor. Even without the demonic eye, he could cultivate it, but it had been lost for a long time. Even the demonic eye clan did not have it, but Chen Xiang knew how to use it. The demon eye of permeability. Moe's entire body was in pain. All of the meridians in his body were pierced by the powerful ray of the heart-piercing demon eye, and the energy he absorbed actually flowed out of his body, and he was being devoured by Chen Xiang. Moe's face contorted in shock, because he knew that the devouring magic kung fu that Chen Xiang was using was much more powerful than his devil yang devouring technique. Not only was its devouring speed fast, it could even lock onto its target. Hee, didn't you laugh just now? This time, it was Chen Xiang's turn to laugh, and he was even gently stroking Moe's head, as he used soul-absorbing devil spell. Feeling the thing in his mind being brutally searched by Chen Xiang, Moe cried out in pain, "Who exactly are you? How do you know so many demonic techniques?" Ah! Moe's body shriveled up bit by bit, and the things in his mind were slowly being memorized by Chen Xiang. They were all things related to the devil race's conspiracy. Bai Yu had taught him all of his devilish world's special abilities. If he fought alone with the nearby people, Chen Xiang could easily kill them all with his devilish arts. Chen Xiang was also proud because he knew these demonic arts. He really wanted to kiss Bai Yu and thank her for teaching him such powerful demonic arts. You have already swallowed the body of the devil yang. You will obtain a massive amount of pure energy. Find a place to refine it. Bai Yu said as he watched Chen Xiang use her devil arts to kill these important figures of the demon realm. It's been a long time since I've consumed it. It's really a bit strange. After he burnt Moe's body, he left this place to find a quiet place to refine those powers. In the future, if you want to devour them, just devour those with good apartment attitude. Bai Yu said. She also had an extremely sharp taste. If she saw Chen Xiang recklessly devour the food, she would also feel uncomfortable. Chen Xiang had engulfed Moe and even knew the devil race's plan from Moe's memories. Chen Xiang did not leave the Great Devil Mountains. Although the demonic energy inside was very strong, there were many places that were safe and quiet. Right now, Chen Xiang was at a pitch-black mountain corner, refining the energy that was being devoured. Chen Xiang did not leave the Great Devil Mountains. Although the demonic energy inside was very strong, there were many places that were safe and quiet. Right now, Chen Xiang was at a pitch-black mountain corner, refining the energy that was being devoured. Ever since he started cultivating the Fire God method, he was able to refine the energy that he devoured to its purest state, so it wouldn't affect him in the future at all. Ancient Spirit Great Land. Outside a tent, a middle-aged man was greedily breathing in the fresh air. Right at this moment, one of his subordinates suddenly walked over, a grave and frightened look on his face. Patriarch, eldest young master, he. When the subordinate said this, he gulped. Ever since the fusion of all the realms in the demon world, he had led the devil race to rule over the entire demon world, making it extremely powerful. It was also him who led Moe to scout the various powers, declaring that they would not invade the human world. Mo Tongtian glared at the subordinate and asked seriously, "What happened to Ir? He should be directing the way to deal with the Chern Martial Continent right now." "He's dead." The subordinate took a deep breath and then took out a black cracked rock. "This is eldest young master's fate stone, you see." When Mo Tongtian saw this, he trembled and his anger soared to the sky. He smashed his subordinate into pieces with a palm. "Men, gather all the great elders. We have an emergency meeting. I've spent so much effort to raise Ir, and now he's been destroyed." Mo Tongtian didn't feel too sad, but he was very angry. It was as if his beloved object had been broken by someone. He only wanted to know who had broken it and then killed that person to vent his anger. In next to no time, the 10 elders had arrived. Ir will die once he takes his people to the Great Devil Mountains. All of you better hurry to the Great Devil Mountains and find the person who killed Ir quickly. The sooner the better, I'll capture him alive. Mo Tongtian said. The 5 elders immediately left the ancient spirit Great Land, returned to their Devil Realm continent, and then used the transmission array above to teleport to the Devil Realm continent that was connected to the Chern Martial continent. Chen Xiang was still refining the energy that he had devoured. There was a lot of this energy, and even though it was inside the body of a devil cultivator, it was exceptionally pure because Moe had a devilish young body. At this moment, he still had a large portion of the energy that he had yet to refine into his own. Moreover, it would still take a period of time before he could completely refine it. With 5 of the 10 great elders of devil race here, it could be seen how angry Mo Tongtian was right now. After half a day, Long Shui used the Heaven Tour method to wander around, helping Chen Xiang to keep watch, so Chen Xiang was not worried at all and focused on cultivation. Long Shui suddenly saw a few black-robed people and old men with hats on them flying towards Chen Xiang quickly. It was obvious that they knew Chen Xiang was here. "Little scoundrel, quickly wake up. There are a few powerful old fellows plussing towards you. They look like they're from the demon world." Long Shui said, "There are 5 of them, looks like you can only run inside." Hearing Long Shui's words, Chen Xiang immediately opened his eyes and ran deeper into the Great Devil Mountains. There is a stone called the Destiny Stone in the demon world. If a person dies, that stone will shatter as well. It seems that Devil Race already knew of Moe's death. Bai Yu said, Moe possesses a devil body, his energy will release a strange aura. If you don't refine it completely, it will be released, and it will be easily sensed by the experts of the demon realm. Chen Xiang unleashed his Heaven Tour method, and very quickly, he saw the 5 old fellows chasing after him. He laughed coldly. They are the 5 elders from the devil race, and are all the subordinates of Moe's father. The direction that Chen Xiang was headed towards was towards the demon and devil sinkhole. It was sealed already, but even if it was not sealed, the magical corruption gas would not leak out of the Great Devil Mountains, because underneath the demon and devil sinkhole, there was a type of power that could control the magical corruption gas around the demon and devil sinkhole. Chen Xiang was walking there so that these 5 elders could break the seal on the demon and devil sinkhole. The demon and devil sinkhole was a very big pit, but it was enveloped by a transparent inhibition formation, causing the magical corruption gas below to be unable to charge out. Although this inhibition formation was set up by many experts, at that time, they had considered that they could use it against the demon and devil realms, so they only made it simple, and that breaking it was still very easy. It was not easy to harvest magical corruption gas. Bai Yuyu's sister had used poison specifically, and she was a strong warrior from the heavenly demon realm, but she had to be careful when dealing with magical corruption gas. If she was a devil cultivator from the demon realm, it would be even more difficult. As long as she got close, she could be easily poisoned. But Chen Xiang was not afraid. His perfect realm devil-suppressing golden bodies impenetrable was already enough for him to absorb these magical corruption gas into his body and keep them inside. The 5 elders of the devil race released their divine senses after entering the Great Devil Mountains. Originally, they wanted to search for the people inside, but they didn't expect that they could sense Mo Yi's unique aura, so they chased after him. However, when they were about to approach, the aura seemed to have found them, and actually started moving quickly, causing them to chase closely after. Mo Yi was already dead, but the devilish yang qi that was unique to Mo Yi was still present, causing the 5 elders to think that their clan leaders might have misunderstood, and guessed that there was a problem with the life stone. When Chen Xiang was running, he had used a transforming technique to change into Mo Yi's appearance. Now that he had Mo Yi's aura and Mo Yi's memories, he felt that other than Mo Yi's father, it would not be difficult to fool anyone else. "Eldest young master, it's us!" An elder suddenly shouted. Chen Xiang already felt that he was going to risk it all, so he immediately stopped and imitated Mo Yi's tone, saying, "So it's the elders, I thought it was the people from the mortal realm." When the 5 elders saw that Mo Yi was not dead yet, they immediately heaved a sigh of relief. One of the elders said, "Your fate stone has cracked and the patriarch thought that you had died, so he sent us to avenge you. It seems that there was a problem with your fate stone." Chen Xiang's heart moved, and said, "It might be related to the place that I went to just now. I think that it might be a treasure trove that was left behind 100,000 years ago, but it has a powerful seal that is difficult to break by myself. It's just right that the elders came. Oh! Quick, bring us there to take a look." They were extremely confident in Mo Yi, because Mo Yi was raised by them. Chen Xiang laughed in his heart. "I'll bring you guys to your deaths right now." If Chen Xiang had not been able to release the special demonic yang qi that Mo Yi possessed, he definitely would not have been able to deceive these 5 powerful devil race elders. If Chen Xiang had not been able to release the special demonic yang qi that Mo Yi possessed, he definitely would not have been able to deceive these 5 powerful devil race elders. The Great Devil Mountains was very famous even in the demon world, because many famous experts of the demon and devil realms had died in this place. The present demon realm warriors believed that there should be many good things left behind by the Devil Dao in the dead Great Devil Mountains. So when the 5 elders heard Chen Xiang say that he had discovered a powerful restriction, they were extremely curious and even a little excited. If they could find the treasure left behind by their demon clan elders 100,000 years ago, then his strength might even be able to rise. Very quickly, Chen Xiang arrived at the demon and devil sinkhole. In the past, the demon and devil sinkhole was a very dangerous place in the human world, but no one dared to set foot in the vicinity of the demon and devil sinkhole. Especially after the magical corruption gas appeared, all the sects and families prohibited disciples from entering. However, Chen Xiang was not afraid. With a smile on his face, he brought 5 powerful demon clan elders to the side of demon and devil sinkhole. This pit is really big, there should be something down there, right? And this restriction looks like it was set up by several masters working together. Could it be that it is sealing something? An elder muttered to himself. After coming here, he did not think that there was any treasure down there. Instead, he felt that it was dangerous down there. Chen Xiang was a little anxious as he said, "There might be a powerful ancient beast devil sealed here. I remember that during the great battle back then, there were a lot of legendary beast devil here. If it's a beast devil, it won't be too hard for the 5 of us to subdue it. The beast devil that has been sealed for many years will have its strength affected." One of the short and fat elders laughed. "Fellow elders, if our devil race possessed an ancient beast devil, I am afraid that we would be able to become even more deterrent in the demon world. It must be known that many powers dislike us ruling over the demon world, so we definitely cannot let them join hands." "That's right, as long as we have a strong ancient beast devil, the strength of our devil race will increase a lot. It is said that in the ancient era, a beast devil can easily destroy a small and medium-sized force." The more the 5 elders discussed, the more excited they became. At this time, they also had a way to break through the barrier, and that was to forcefully attack. After Chen Xiang persuaded the 5 old fellows, he hid far away and observed carefully how they went to their deaths. Because the demon and devil sinkhole was sealed, those colorless, odorless magical corruption gas were unable to leak any of it out. Naturally, these 5 elders could not feel it, so even if they could, they would only be able to sense it if they were poisoned. Chen Xiang had to admit, these 5 clan elders were extremely powerful. If he fought with either Gu Dongchen or Wu Kaming from Super Martial School alone, they might be at a draw, but there were many powerful people from Devil Race. When the 5 demon clan elders joined hands, they blasted away the demon and devil sinkhole's restrictions in one move. The magical corruption gas under the demon and devil sinkhole, who had been suppressed for many days, immediately gushed out. Although they were transparent, they could feel a strong flow of air shooting out from the huge pit, spreading in all directions and enveloping the 5 elders. The 5 elders quickly discovered that their bodies were being corroded by a strange power, causing them to turn pale in shock, because they quickly realized what this was, a magical corruption gas. These 4 words were as though they were sentenced to death, causing them to feel incomparable fear. This was because they were currently within a large number of magical corruption gas, and magical corruption gas had always been recorded within, but every time they appeared, there would always be a small amount. After breaking the seal, it was not the ancient beast devil but the super old poison S. The 5 elders were extremely regretful and hated the MOE, who instigated them to break the seal. They all sat down on the ground and did not dare to move an inch. If they were careless, the magical corruption gas S would wreak havoc in their bodies, and in an instant, they would become purple-black rotten flesh. Chen Xiang smiled as he walked over, and when the 5 elders saw that their young master was not afraid of the magical corruption gas, they were extremely shocked, but from the smiling faces, they could tell that they had been tricked. "Big. Eldest young master, you." Chen Xiang laughed and turned back into his own appearance. Kid Chen Xiang greets the 5 seniors. "Thank you for helping me break open this place where a large number of magical corruption gas are sealed." Chen Xiang laughed. If they could spit out blood, then they would have already spat it out. However, they couldn't because if they did, then they would be poisoned to death. "You!" Suddenly, a strong suction force appeared in the demon and devil sinkhole, pulling all the sand at the side into it. If Chen Xiang did not use any force, he would be sucked into the sky cavern. The 5 elders didn't dare to move. At this moment, they were slowly being dragged into the sky cavern. What a powerful demon and devil sinkhole. While spitting out magical corruption gas, I'll suck in the things around demon and devil sinkhole, and you guys can slowly enjoy your unique poison meal in the demon world. Kid, you guys can go now. Chen Xiang laughed as he flew into the distance, quietly watching the 5 elders being sucked into the demon and devil sinkhole. He could clearly see the 5 elders being transformed into purplish-black rotten flesh by the magical corruption gas when they fell into the pit. For safety's sake, Chen Xiang planned to refine the devoured energy near the demon and devil sinkhole. Once someone came to find him, he would be invincible, and whoever came in would die. Inside the Devil Race Patriarch's residence, another shocking piece of news came. The 5 elders that had been sent out had all died, and their life stones had all shattered. This caused the clan leader's expression to become extremely ugly, because these 5 elders were part of the strongest powers in the Devil Race. If the outside world were to find out that someone died, there would definitely be a force that would resist them. Therefore, in order to keep this a secret, Mo Tongtian did not leak out the news. Even the devil cultivator that guarded the life stone had been silenced. Looks like there's something fishy going on in the Great Devil Mountains. And the 5 elders' deaths might not have anything to do with the mortal realm, since the mortal realm is currently guarding outside of the Great Devil Mountains, so they don't dare to go in rashly. They have to send people to investigate immediately, to figure out what kind of powerful things are inside the Great Devil Mountains that could actually cause the 5 elders to die at the same time. Very quickly, a small party entered the Great Devil Mountains to investigate. Not long after, they sensed a strange aura flowing in the direction of the demon and devil sinkhole, and a few people were immediately poisoned to death, turning into minced meat. When the others saw it, they did not dare move forward, but a few experts in the group immediately recognized that it was the sign of a magical corruption gas, and then spread the news to the ancient spirit Great Land. At this time, Chen Xiang had already been training beside demon and devil sinkhole for more than 10 days. On the mortal realms side, they were always attacked by the demon and devil realms. However, the demons had become a lot smarter, and did not attack like last time, but there were many conflicts in some continents, so the most important thing for the human world was to prevent the demon and devil realms from attacking them. Table of Contents. On the mortal realms side, they were always attacked by the demon and devil realms. However, the demons had become a lot smarter, and did not attack like last time, but there were many conflicts in some continents, so the most important thing for the human world was to prevent the demon and devil realms from attacking them. Table of Contents. The last time, there were over 1,000 demon and devil realms that came over, trying to play some tricks. However, in the end, they were all destroyed by Chen Xiang and killed. Not a single one of them survived. Wu Kaming looked at Great Devil Mountains, because Chen Xiang had been inside for more than 10 days and he had not come back, and a while ago he had also felt that the restrictions that had been placed on demon and devil sinkhole had been broken. Right now, Great Devil Mountains was even more dangerous. If the magical corruption gas were to spread, it would indeed have a very good protection effect, and at that time, if the goblin wanted to attack Chen Martial Continent, he would have to take a detour and come back. Chen Xiang took half a month to finish refining the power. His body had become much stronger. The power of the Devil Yang was something that could strengthen the body. He felt that he was not too far away from the Nirvana stage. A group of fellows came 2 days ago, but they did not dare enter, and only allowed a few fellows to enter, but in the end, those fellows all died from poison, and this magical corruption gas did not spread, but only formed an invisible barrier of qi, enveloping the entire sky ditch. At the same time, it released a suction force that sucked in everything that was near the sky ditch, just like a demon. Long Shui said. Chen Xiang stretched his back and said, "Let's go to the demon world to take a look. Devil-suppressing Heavenly Venerable has left something inside, and the G.O.D. child must go in to look. You must enter the demon world. Do not use any demonic techniques that attract the attention of others. If you use them, do not leave any survivors." Bai Yu warned. Of course, Chen Xiang understood that those devil arts could cause a bloodbath even in the heavenly demon realm, just like the Taiji dragon suppressed Kung Fu. If it wasn't for great war between three realms right now, a group of people would definitely go after Chen Xiang. However, Chen Xiang did not do so, because he wanted to see how many demons were inside the Great Devil Mountains. The demon air was extremely dense here, and it was a sacred place refined by the demon devil cultivator. If it was daytime, this Great Devil Mountains would have a bit of light. At night, it was completely pitch black with no one able to see his fingers. Moreover, there were all kinds of eerie sounds coming from all directions. These guys dug a lot of caves here. Look at those mountains, they are all demons' territory. They also know how to use some things to hide the cave entrance. In addition, the demonic energy here is very dense, making it hard to find them. Long Shui said. Although it was night time, Chen Xiang, who trained in the heart-piercing demon, I could see a lot of beating hearts in those huge mountains. Should we destroy them? Chen Xiang said. If he had released a large number of magical corruption gas, all the people here would have been poisoned to death. Don't worry about them. These guys won't be able to make it. The most powerful ones are all in the demon realm. Bai Yu said. If we kill them now, it will only increase the conflict. I believe that the people from the human world already have a plan prepared by them, so you should not destroy it. Chen Xiang nodded his head and then pass, said through the mountains. The number of demons was shocking, there were tens of millions gathered here, it was hard to imagine that they could arrive here so quickly. Then in Mo Yi's memories, what sort of conspiracy? Bai Yu asked. They plan to use their strong powers to force the human world to give them a portion of the resources, and when they become strong, they will invade the human world again. It would be the kind of situation where they use the resources on the Chen martial continent. Chen Xiang sighed. It's just that it's useless against the Chen martial continent. Moreover, it's hard to say in other worlds, if they don't agree to the compet. 1. Tian, they will gather a powerful force from the demon realm and invade. Chen Xiang said, but Chen martial continent is too strong, they don't dare to act rashly right now. This is too shameless. Gathering the power of the entire giant devil realm to attack a small world, and the humans won't invade them. If this goes on, won't they be annihilated one by one? Long Shui scolded. That's right, so sooner or later, Chen martial continent will face the concentrated attacks of the demon world. However, all the major powers in this new world should be able to think of this point very quickly. Chen Xiang had already said through the gigantic mountains that were filled with demons and monsters. He heard the sound of the sea, which was originally a cliff by the ocean, but now it was connected to the two continents of the demon and devil realms. It was already dawn. The sun was as warm as the sky and the sky was as blue as the sky, but here there was no comfortable spirit energy. Instead, it was a very uncomfortable thin type of devil energy. Is this the devil realm continent that is connected to the Chen martial continent? The environment is too bad. Chen Xiang frowned and asked, the ground here was already cracked due to the sun, there were no flowers or trees. Now he knew why the demon realm was invading the human world, and why the devil race was occupying the ancient spirit great land. There was only one place in the demon world with a better environment, which was the center of the new demon world, which was the continent that was connected to the ancient spirit great land. However, compared to the ancient spirit great land, that was still a far cry from them. Chen Xiang learned all of this from Mo Yi's memories. Do you know where the things left behind by the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable are? Long Shui asked. Of course I know. It's all in my brain, and I know the direction. Chen Xiang laughed, following Mo Yi's memories. He ran towards a city of the demon realm. Although the devil cultivator of the demon realm was brutal, but when they were together, they were still well behaved, and they had a transmission array, just that they needed him to provide them with the energy of a transmission array during teleportation. In the demon world, spar were extremely scarce. Because the amount of spirit energy was almost zero, spar would not form again. Little brother, coming here by yourself is very dangerous. You're going to enter the city, right? Big sister will go with you. A charming voice came over, accompanied by a strong fragrance that salted the nose. Chen Xiang turned around and saw a red-clothed female coming out of nowhere. Chen Xiang laughed coldly in his heart. Although this girl looked like a demon, he knew that this kind of woman would usually take in the sun to supplement her yin. Chen Xiang felt that he was unfamiliar with this place, so he did not expose this woman. Instead, he deliberately asked in a shy manner, "Elder sister, why are you here too? What's your name?" Chen Xiang felt that he was unfamiliar with this place, so he did not expose this woman. Instead, he deliberately asked in a shy manner, "Elder sister, why are you here too? What's your name?" Seeing how shy this handsome and muscular man in front of her was, the red-clothed girl's smile became even sweeter and more charming. She even deliberately twisted her fiery body, which would make any man want to see it. "Little brother, you're so cute. Big sister is quite famous. She has quite a bit of fame in the nearby cities, and no one dares to bully me. Remember this big sister's name." The tall woman in red walked over to Chen Xiang's side and discovered that Chen Xiang was actually taller than her by a head. However, she still extended her slender fingers to caress Chen Xiang's handsome face, looking at his somewhat timid eyes with her seductive eyes. "Elder sister's name is Han Jing Profound, do you remember?" The lady stood on her tiptoes and whispered into Chen Xiang's ear with an orchid, that kind of alluring voice that made people go numb even to Chen Xiang's heart. This Han Jing Profound's bewitchment techniques were indeed not bad. Chen Xiang did not expect that he would be seduced by a witch like her right after arriving in the demon world. He felt that his luck was pretty good. "Sister Jingxian, can you take me away from here? I'm lost," Chen Xiang said. "Of course you can, little brother, just call me by my name." Han Jing Profound held Chen Xiang's hand and smiled sweetly. "Xin Fei." Chen Xiang made up a fake name. "Xiao Fei, why are you here? Did you escape from inside?" Han Jing Profound held onto Chen Xiang's big hand, and felt that Chen Xiang was strong, causing happiness to bloom in her heart. To be able to find a strong and robust man to pick up nourishment was extremely rare, let alone a pure and innocent man like Chen Xiang. "No, I just want to see the human world." Chen Xiang laughed. "To go to the mortal realm, you have to pass through the great devil mountains. It's very dangerous," Han Jing Profound said very seriously. Along the way, Han Jing Profound didn't listen to seduce or make fun of Chen Xiang. In her opinion, Chen Xiang was like a piece of meat to her. As long as she found a suitable place, she could make her move. And Chen Xiang was very happy along the way, because this Han Jing Profound would let him take advantage of her from time to time. After entering the city, Chen Xiang found that there were a lot of people who were hiding far away from Han Jing Profound. Of course, Chen Xiang knew that these men were afraid of this witch who could captivate souls and invisibly, but Han Jing Profound had only said that he was very strong, so these men were all afraid of her. When those Devil Realm men saw that Chen Xiang had followed Han Jing Profound, they couldn't help but sigh softly, as if a precious jade had been destroyed. Although the resources in the demon world were scarce, the hotels and shops here all had decent items to sell. Chen Xiang even knew that these hotels and shops were all owned by a powerful force. Han Jing Profound also had a pretty good house here. Although it looked extremely simple and crude, the decorations inside were very clean and tidy, with a lovely fragrance floating in the air. Chen Xiang was drinking the cup of water that Han Jing Profound gave him. Chen Xiang, of course, wasn't afraid of what was inside. She directly drank it all in one gulp, and just as he finished drinking it, Han Jing Profound threw herself into his embrace, and then kissed his cheek. She smiled tenderly. "Little darling, you're so cute. Sister Jingxian, what are you doing?" Chen Xiang felt Han Jing Profound's jade hands pressing against his navel, releasing a cold power. Chen Xiang was a little disappointed. He had originally thought that Han Jing Profound would take off her clothes to tempt him, and then use it on him or something like that. Nothing, I'm just giving you a soft stomach, you'll be very comfortable. Han Jing Profound treated Chen Xiang like a child, and saw that the man who was captivated by her would become like a child, let alone the water that she used to drink. Little scoundrel, you can't even tell that this woman is a virgin? Bai Yu grunted. The cultivation technique she cultivates is not that type, her cultivation is a little higher leveled. If I don't do it, how can I tell? I'm not as sharp as all of you. Chen Xiang said as his mouth twitched. Han Jing Profound enjoyed being in Chen Xiang's embrace, so when she heard the strong man's heartbeat and felt the man's scorching hot and rough earth aura, the jade palms that were pressed against Chen Xiang's navel suddenly stopped releasing the cold qi, causing her heart to soften. Sister Jingxian, why did you stop? It's very comfortable. Chen Xiang was also surprised that the woman did not continue. In the demon world, with the lack of cultivation resources, it was best for women to specifically recruit men, but it was also very dangerous. If they kicked against an iron board, there was a 90% chance that they would die, and Han Jing Profound's method of replenis. Hi+ing men was the safest. Heh, little grudge, big sis is a bit tired, let's go to bed first. Han Jing Profound pouted and left Chen Xiang's embrace. Chen Xiang laughed in his heart. I never thought that this woman would actually soften her grip, is it because she was attracted to me? In terms of cultivation, Han Jing Profound could be considered a great beauty here. Otherwise, she wouldn't have seduced so many men to help her cultivate. In Chen Xiang's opinion, she was at least from the nirvana stage. For a girl to be in this kind of environment, she was definitely powerful. Chen Xiang laid on the chair and used the Heaven Tour method to search for the transmission array in the city. It was inside a tightly guarded mansion with many trees planted inside. One look was enough to tell that the person inside was very powerful. Suddenly, a shout startled him. BITC. Come out and die. How dare you touch my black demon sect? The one who spoke was a middle-aged man with a beard who wore a black hemlock robe. It wasn't just the people from the black demon sect who came. There were a few others as well, all of them full of murderous intent and fury. Han Jing Profound was also shocked. She anxiously went into the hall and pulled Chen Xiang to the back door, but there was a white-clothed big man blocking the door. Humph, you bitch. I thought you were going to the Great Devil Mountains, but you actually dared to come back. You won't be able to escape. Today, all of the 10 great sects leaders have come. The white-robed man laughed coldly. Chen Xiang was shocked. He never thought that Han Jing Profound was actually the same as him, and actually angered the leaders of the 10 major sects of the continent. Now, he was even surrounded by the 10 great leaders. Han Jing Profound clenched her jade teeth tightly, gave Chen Xiang a palm, and then ran away. She knew that these people would not make things difficult for Chen Xiang, and letting Chen Xiang go was the only good deed she had done over the years. Han Jing Profound's speed was unexpectedly fast, as she directly broke through the roof, and in the blink of an eye, she was already far away from her residence. Furthermore, the leaders of the 10 great sects had also caught up with her. Chen Xiang rubbed his chest that had been struck by Han Jing Profound and laughed. This woman is really my bosom friend, no wonder we are so fated. What lousy 10 great heads, they are too weak. They are all trash that have endured the 3 tribulations of the second nirvana tribulations. Long Shui said in disdain, I thought it was that powerful, but it seems the demon realm is far worse than the human realm. What lousy 10 great heads, they are too weak. They are all trash that have endured the 3 tribulations of the second nirvana tribulations. Long Shui said in disdain, I thought it was that powerful, but it seems the demon realm is far worse than the human realm. Chen Xiang could also tell that the leaders of the 10 great sects were mediocre. Nirvana stage S of this level were only the small elders of many sections. Han Jing Profound was running very fast, and Chen Xiang could even tell that she was not using her full strength, obviously intending to lure the 10 great leader into one place. This road is very familiar, could it be? It was only now that he remembered that this road led to the place where the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable S hid their treasures. Chen Xiang followed closely behind the 10 great leader S and entered into a lush green mountain forest, causing him to be extremely surprised. This was the first time he had seen such a large tree in the devil realm, and the spirit energy here was not bad either. The 10 great leader S suddenly stopped, and one of the old lady said sinisterly, "We have already entered the ancient desolation forbidden land. If we continue onward, we might be in danger." This place was called the ancient desolation forbidden land, and it reminded Chen Xiang of the ancient wasteland devil sect who wanted to capture him. From the sound of the old lady, it was obviously an extremely dangerous place. Isn't this the place where the ancient desolate demon G.O.D. buried his son? This old man had wanted to go in to take a look since a long time ago, but ancient wasteland devil sect and those other fellows didn't dare to. An old man sneered, and continued to chase after Han Jing Profound. The other leader S did not think so too. Although this place was called the Forbidden Grounds, that was just the claim of the ancient wasteland devil sect. Chen Xiang guessed that not only did Han Jing Profound kill all of the outstanding talents in their sect, he also had that strange cultivation method, which was why he was being chased around by the leader. From the looks of it, the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable should be hiding here. I never thought that this would still be the tomb of the ancient desolation demon G.O.D.'s son. It seems that he has spent quite a bit of time burying his son. Chen Xiang's heart was filled with emotions. He did not have any good impression of ancient wasteland devil sect and wanted to capture him. The ancient desolate demon G.O.D. is indeed doing quite well in this demon world. However, after entering the sky demon world, he isn't much either. What is there to be afraid of? Bai Yu said in disdain. Han Jing Profound nimbly dashed through the mountain forest like the wind, and she was extremely familiar with the roads here. She frequently visited the place, but when she arrived at the side of a huge lake, she suddenly stopped. "Bitch, are you going to surrender?" The reason why the 10 great leader S were chasing after her was not because Han Jing Profound was too slow, but because she had done it on purpose. Just as Han Jing Profound stopped, she was surrounded by the 10 great leader S, but she had no fear on her face, and only smiled sweetly. "Old Granny, I think you want to steal my devil arts and use them to recover your youth, right? Otherwise, you guys would have already killed me." The old woman merely gave a cold snort. "I only want to capture you, the witch, and bring you back to be executed." Han Jing Profound laughed heartily. "Don't call me the witch, we are all from the demon realm. As long as we cultivate to this extent, do you dare to say that you have never done anything bad?" "Bitch, stop talking. Hand over your demonic technique, and I'll leave you an intact corpse." At a glance, these leader S were so old that they had half a foot into a coffin. As long as they did not cultivate up to it, they would die of old age. Hand over the demonic arts or die. Even if you don't hand over the demonic arts, you will still die. Why should I hand it over to you? Death is not scary, but old guys like you are waiting for death to come. Han Jing Profound laughed charmingly, waving her beautiful long hair. She laughed until her flowers were trembling, angering the 10 old fellows to the point that their bodies were trembling. "Catch her and make her want to die." A bald old man roared. 10 of them moved at the same time, plusing towards Han Jing Profound, all of them releasing a terrifying black fiend. Han Jing Profound's strength was not as strong as theirs, but she had nothing to be afraid of. She took out a black object and threw it into the lake, then transformed into a red light and flew towards the side. At the same time, 9 gigantic heads suddenly popped out from the lake. It was actually a gigantic 9-headed snake. Each head was as big as a small mountain, spitting out snake apricot. Not only were the 9 heads not clumsy, they were also as fast as lightning, biting towards those old fellows. In just an instant, this 9-headed snake that came out of the lake swallowed all 9 of the old devil sect leaderess, and that thick and flexible snake tail of his had at some point ruthlessly smashed the tail of the remaining old lady, who was hiding a terrifying power. In just a moment she was smashed into pieces, causing Chen Xiang to be dumbstruck. This snake is too powerful. But that spirit is also not bad. She actually used some things to lure this snake out. Chen Xiang laughed secretly in his heart. First, he would lure the 10-leader S over here, and then, he would bulls HI+T with the 10-leader S a bit. Looking at Han Jingprofound's calm face, he knew that she had been playing this game many times. As for the 9-headed giant python, it seemed to be very familiar with Han Jingprofound, probably because she often brought food for it. After Han Jingprofound finished off the 10 great leader, he was in a good mood. He played around with his hair tails, taking light and joyful steps, humming a small tune as he went back the way he came from. Just as Chen Xiang wanted to jump out to be flirted with by the spirit, a man dressed in green suddenly descended from the sky and landed in front of Han Jingprofound. The man had an evil smile on his face as he looked at Han Jingprofound, who was still on guard. "Who are you?" Han Jingprofound anxiously retreated 2 steps, because she felt that the person in front of her was extremely dangerous. "Han Jingprofound, I heard that you have obtained a bizarre devil art. In a short 5 years, you went from a maid to a devil cultivator who had said through the nirvana stage, and also, your body and face are even more beautiful now. You really are a beauty on the bed." The light-robed man squinted his eyes and laughed. Chen Xiang was completely shocked. It had only been 5 years, and this spirit was able to reach nirvana stage in such a short time. It was simply too terrifying. Even if he had met with many fortuitous encounters and had Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu as his instructors, he wouldn't be able to move at such a speed. "You are ancient wasteland devil sex. Young master Jiang Li Guang." Han Jingprofound suddenly thought of something and exclaimed, "This is the ancient desolation forbidden land. How could I not know that someone has barged in? It can't be that this is the first time you've come here, right? I often cultivate here, and the people that come in are all in my control." Jiang Liguang laughed sinisterly. "You have succeeded in your cultivation now, the time is almost here, it's a good time to harvest the tonics. Don't even think about it." Han Jingprofound shouted, "I'm warning you, don't think that I'm like the other women who can pick the crops at will. If you dare touch my body, you won't even know who can pick the crops." Ancient Wasteland Devil Sect was a super great power within the demon world. Although Devil Race was currently the overlord of this new demon world, it was also because Ancient Wasteland Devil Sect did not have any compet.i.tian. Otherwise, the demon world would not be at peace for at least a few hundred years. Ancient Wasteland Devil Sect was a super great power within the demon world. Although Devil Race was currently the overlord of this new demon world, it was also because Ancient Wasteland Devil Sect did not have any compet.1 Otherwise, the demon world would not be at peace for at least a few hundred years. And this Jiang Liguang, as the next leader, at such a young age, was already extremely strong, far surpa.s. Sing Han Jingprofound in terms of strength. Jiang Liguang laughed. "Do you think that your good luck is the reason why you obtained the devil art? I'll tell you the truth, I sent people to secretly release those demonic arts. Over the past few decades there have been many women like you, but as long as they succeed in nirvana, I will send people to capture them and then let me enjoy them. Not only will they obtain great power, they will also be able to enjoy it for a while." She, who had just gotten rid of 10 powerful leaderess, was originally in a great mood. However, she did not expect things to turn out like this in the blink of an eye. Furthermore, she did not expect herself to be able to start cultivating because of Jiang Liguang's plan. Good move. No wonder this guy is able to cross the 3 nirvana tribulations at such a young age. Chen Xiang exclaimed in his heart. Do you want to? Long Shui laughed and asked. Chen Xiang did not bother with her, but took out his death-haunting arrow. Since the other party was the eldest son of the ancient wasteland devil sect, he would not be lenient towards her. Little beauty, the devilish art that you cultivate belongs to my ancient wasteland devil sect. Of course I have a way to nourish you, and I can also control your strength. Jiang Liguang laughed evilly as he began to take off his clothes. To be able to enjoy such a beauty in such a beautiful forest, not bad. Little beauty, you are the best one in years. I really don't want to kill you, but I have no choice. After I finish harvesting, you will become an old woman. Being able to die in my hands can be considered your fortune. Jiang Liguang raised her head and laughed, while her expression was extremely ugly. Because at this moment she was actually unable to move, and the energy in her body was actually being controlled. Just when Han Jingprofound thought that he was about to be brutally trampled by the man in front of him, Jiang Liguang's laughter suddenly stopped, because Chen Xiang had shot an arrow at him. Jiang Liguang's face changed, as he anxiously used his techniques to block the poison from his body. It is your fortune to be able to die in my hands. With Green Dragon Demon Slain broadsword in hand, Chen Xiang jumped down from a tree with a smile. Han Jingprofound, who thought that she was facing a crisis, saw this scene and was extremely surprised. She did not expect that she would actually be saved by this little brother. Little brother Xunfei, why are you here? Big sister almost died, thank you. Han Jingprofound anxiously hugged onto him, although she knew that Chen Xiang was not simple. Xunfei? He is called Chen Xiang, and is wanted by my ancient wasteland devil sect using the devil G.O.D. badge. Jiang Liguang's expression was extremely ugly. Sensing that the devilish poison in his body was not ordinary, Jiang Liguang began to feel fear. He quickly sensed that the poison was very similar to a magical corruption gas. Just when he wanted to shout out, Chen Xiang's divine blade had already swung up, chopping his head off. After Jiang Liguang died, Han Jingprofound suppressed the shock in his heart and wanted to step forward a few times, but was stopped by Chen Xiang. If you don't want to die, then don't touch him. With that, Chen Xiang released a flame from his mouth, burning Jiang Liguang into ashes. You actually lied to me. I truly treat you well, bad little brother. Han Jingprofound pouted, looking extremely charming. You almost picked me up and you're still so sincere? I came here because you were lenient. I saved your life, otherwise you would have died miserably. Chen Xiang curled his lips and said. How could Han Jingprofound not know about the Demon G.O.D. badge? If people found out that Jiang Liguang's death was related to her, maybe she was also wanted by the Demon G.O.D. order. Han Jingprofound pouted and said, You sure are bold, being wanted by the Demon G.O.D. order, you still dare to come to the demon realm to roam around. Chen Xiang said, I'm here to look for something, you should hurry up and leave. This Jiang Liguang definitely has a fate stone. If he's found out that he's dead, the people from ancient wasteland devil sect will definitely come here. Good little brother, what about you? Han Jingprofound now knew that his charm spell was completely useless against Chen Xiang. Stupid girl, I'm older than you. You're at most 20, right? Chen Xiang pinched her jade face tightly. Han Jingprofound stuck out his tongue and said in a low voice, Then why were you acting so inexperienced in front of me? I want to go in and destroy this place. I want to let ancient wasteland devil sect know that if we are going to capture Chen Xiang, we have to pay a heavy price. Chen Xiang sneered, his fists clenched tightly. Han Jingprofound was dumbstruck. This was a place where many young disciples of the ancient desolation demon God were buried, and that was where the ancestors of the ancient wasteland devil sect were. It was said that many important figures and elders of the leader were also buried here. But now, Chen Xiang was going to flatten their grave. This was equivalent to trampling on their lifeblood. Quickly leave. Also, if you go to the mortal world to kill innocent people, you must not be caught by me. At that time, I will not show mercy. Chen Xiang warned her. Han Jingprofound stuck out her tongue. Although she was in her 20s, she had a mature and charming appearance, looking charming and charming. No matter where she went, if she wanted to use her own demonic arts, it would be simple. Hey, be careful. There are many powerful ancient beasts in the depths, all very powerful. Han Jingprofound knew that Chen Xiang was not an ordinary person. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to kill that Jiang Liguang, but she was still a little worried. Han Jingprofound watched Chen Xiang's back figure disappear, sighed, and then turned around to leave the ancient desolation forbidden land. Chen Xiang used his transformation technique and flew deeper into the ancient desolation forbidden land like a bird. He wanted to find the thing left behind by the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable, but he didn't think that it would actually be here. The things left behind by the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable definitely appeared earlier than that tomb. It seems like this was originally a dangerous place. Bai Yu said. Where is the place where the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable keeps the things? Su Meiyao joked that place was extremely dangerous, and only Chen Xiang could casually walk in these places. Back then, the altar that Chen Xiang destroyed was left behind by the ancient wasteland devil sect, which was equivalent to destroying his grand plan. That was the reason why Chen Xiang was wanted by the demon God realm. More than 2 hours after Jiang Liguang's death, several STU-RDY old men wearing green suddenly appeared in the air above the ancient desolation forbidden land. They looked down indifferently and used their consciousness to search the ancient desolation forbidden land, hoping to find the person inside. Rising Light is dead. He has the bloodline of a demon God and is the descendant of that demon God. Send all of the sect's elites here to thoroughly capture this place. We must find the vicious beast that killed Rising Light. An old man said in grief and indignation. Rising Light is dead. He has the bloodline of a demon God and is the descendant of that demon God. Send all of the sect's elites here to thoroughly capture this place. We must find the vicious beast that killed Rising Light. An old man said in grief and indignation. The death of the successor to the ancient wasteland devil sect shocked the entire new demon realm, not to mention that he had died in the ancient desolation forbidden land. Now, all the ancient wasteland devil sect had been gathering their forces to search the forbidden area to find the cause of Jiang Liguang's death. In Mo Yi's memories, he did not understand much about the ancient desolation forbidden land. He only knew that it was extremely large and filled with danger at the same time. Otherwise, the place would have been packed full of people. Chen Xiang was naturally not afraid that the ancient wasteland devil sect would know that he had killed Jiang Liguang. In any case, he had already been wanted by the devil God order, and 3 days had already said since then. The ancient desolation forbidden land was extremely lively, and thousands of disciples from the ancient wasteland devil sect actually came to look for him. Han Jingprofound also knew that this was an important matter, so when she left, she did not leave any traces behind. Even the fragrance on her body had been removed by a special method. She did not want to hang it on the demon God badge. There were a large number of powerful ancient beasts in the ancient desolation forbidden land. If Chen Xiang had not been able to hide himself well, he would have been chased away long ago. These ancient beasts were all very fierce, and many disciples of the ancient wasteland devil sect had turned into food for these ancient beasts. A burst of dense yin qi suddenly came from the front, almost causing Chen Xiang to fall. If not for his profound magic power, he would definitely have turned back into his human form. It's not bad to use this kind of place as a graveyard. I never thought that the things left behind by the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable are also here," Chen Xiang said as he carefully flew forward. After arriving at this place where the miasma was extremely dense, Chen Xiang did not even look at the footprints of ancient beasts. Not long after, Chen Xiang saw a round black pond that was around 100 meters wide. The water was like ink and the ice-cold bone-piercing yin qi came out from the black pond. Beside the pool of water, there were even some mausoleums that had been meticulously constructed. Right now they looked eerie and terrifying, giving people goosebumps. UMPS. The cold wind whistled like the howls of ghosts and the howls of wolves, making people feel uneasy. F***CK, that thing is probably under this black water pool. Do you want me to dive in? Chen Xiang turned into a bird and stood on a large tree that was completely black by the side of the lake. There are good things down there. What are you afraid of? Wasn't it just a pool? What kind of place haven't you been to? Long Shui urged. She was extremely curious, wanting to know what kind of thing was left in devil-suppressing heavenly venerable. Let me be mentally prepared. Chen Xiang released his divine sense, wanting to use the heaven tour method to investigate. However, he was unable to dive into the bottom of the lake. Along with many mausoleums, they appeared to be extremely cold. However, at this moment, a few old men in green clothes suddenly appeared here. Their faces were full of wrinkles and their expressions were cold, as if they had just crawled out from a grave. Chen Xiang glanced at the 4 old men who suddenly appeared, and his heart varied. He did not notice anyone approaching him, and so did Long Shui. In order to not let these powerful old guys discover him, Chen Xiang hurriedly entered a tree cave to conceal his presence. He sensed that these old guys were looking around. Not a single trace was left, behind. However, even we were touched by the restrictive spells. This is something that not even we were able to accomplish. Who could have been here before? Is Jiang Liguang's death related to him? An old man said coldly. What is the purpose of this person? Even the devil race would not dare to provoke us like this. Another old man said angrily. Let's hurry back and inform the leader. This person is still in the ancient desolation forbidden land. We must find him no matter what. The 4 elders suddenly turned into a gust of cold wind and disappeared. Chen Xiang secretly heaved a sigh of relief. In this kind of place, if these 4 old fellows found out, he might not even be able to release his magical corruption gas, and would be killed by them. Quickly jump down, what's there to be afraid of? Long Shui felt an itch in her heart, and her consciousness was unable to enter the lake. It's not like you're going down, so of course you have nothing to be afraid of? If there's anything powerful down there, won't I be sending it to my doorstep? Chen Xiang said snappily. What are you afraid of? Turn into a small fish and slowly go down the side. If you encounter any powerful objects, I will just take action. I am the most beautiful and powerful dragon in the future, and all demons and monsters will have to submit under my dragon dress. Long Shui snorted. Chen Xiang considered for a while, but in the end, he still turned into a small fish and jumped into the black pool. Even though there were heaven fire soul in his body, at this moment, he was still frozen by the cold water until he felt uncomfortable, as if he was being pierced by countless ice needles. This caused him to have no choice but to turn back into his human form and release the profound diamond armor, which made him feel a lot better. If I knew earlier, I wouldn't have listened to you. My original plan was to use profound diamond armor, but you turned me into a small fish instead. Chen Xiang complained. At this point in time, he was no longer feeling cold, but his surroundings were completely dark. It was terrifyingly quiet. What made him afraid was that he was worried that there were powerful beasts under the black water pool. Just as Chen Xiang jumped into the pool of black water, the 4 elders from the ancient wasteland devil sect appeared again. They looked at the rippling black water, and their expressions became extremely strange. How is that possible? This is the extremely poisonous blood of the poisonous beast Devil God. Although it doesn't have any scent, as long as you touch it, it will instantly vaporize. The startled old man said in shock. This black pool was unexpectedly the poisonous blood of the poisonous beast Devil God, and he suddenly felt extremely disgusted. The poisonous beast Devil God, that even the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable could not kill, had actually been played to death by him, but this also allowed him to be at ease. This was because there would not be any powerful things below, and no ancient beasts would be able to endure this kind of poison. At this moment, a weak voice came from above, "We will wait for him here. This bunch of old fellows are actually trying to catch me? No way." Chen Xiang was disdainful in his heart. He increased his speed and dived into the ground. It was a tactic commonly used by the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable to poison the entire East Hidden Province. Beneath the devil-suppressing monument, there was a generation of poison woman devil scorpion princess. The devil-suppressing mirror was in a poisonous swamp, and the devil-suppressing blood was inside.